The Harvey family is sailing with Captain Ron.
Are you kidding?
To paradise.
You sure you know the way? Any fool could find it. Well, let's hope so, huh?
There's excitement on deck. Danger around every turn. And adventure just beyond the horizon.
The Pirates of the Caribbean!
What pirates?
Kurt Russell.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Martin Short.
Been to Disney World one too many times?
Captain Ron.
Captain Ron! Captain Ron!
Premiering April 23rd.
In a world where podcasts reign supreme, two friends dare to ask, do you even movie? Hosted by filmmaker Henrique David and movie aficionado David D. Neuer. Spoiler alert.
You had never seen a Superman movie
No.
until recently.
Yeah, no, and I'm working my way through them all right now.
How's that going?
I've seen the first one.
That's not working your way through. That's starting.
No, 2 is up next, obviously. Then I've got 3, 4, Superman Returns, and then Man of Steel, and then actually that's not true. I guess I did see Batman v Superman.
I have only seen the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and then this most recent one.
Yeah,
I have not seen any of those other ones.
Batman v Superman is.
I was excited until I found out it wasn't a court drama.
I mean, there is that. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely got its hate. And it's definitely got its fans. It's been a while since I've seen it too. I literally got that because of a free code when my buddy Derek FYE gave me the digital code for it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because I was originally, I think I was planning to see it in theaters because it's a Batman movie, and I usually try to see every single Batman movie in theaters. But yeah, that one I missed. I can't remember why.
Sad.
But no, I will say the Superman movie, the first Superman movie, really fucking good. Hot take on that one.
I know what you're thinking too. You're like Jack Donner, all flubs except this one.
Dick Donner.
What'd I say?
Jack.
What's his name? Dick?
Richard Donner.
Oh, Richard Donner. Man, I watched a documentary about his involvement in Superman. You know that he filmed most of part 2.
Yeah, because there's the Dick Donner cut, the Richard Donner cut.
Oh, they did put that out?
Yeah, it's out. It's just not a complete movie, apparently, because I've got it in my Voodoo. Because that was the thing is when I got that collection that I got recently, it has all of them in it. So that's how I started watching them again. That's how I got access to them. Because it was one of those situations that I've seen them on cable. Like I've seen bits and pieces of them on cable, and I'd seen a lot of the first one on cable, but had never like sat down and watched it from start to finish. I was never a big Superman person. I was more so into Batman. So I was aware of Superman. I liked Superman, but like Batman was my chosen hero.
You were like, between these two orphans, that one.
You made that joke last week.
Because it's still true.
But no, I really did enjoy the first Superman movie, and I'm excited to watch the second one because I've heard at least 1 and 2 are the best of them, obviously. And I've seen bits and pieces of 4. Actually, I've probably seen 4 might be the one I've seen the most of, honestly.
Because it got so silly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really silly.
They played that one on AMC a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. They played the first one, the second one, and sometimes the third, but usually like the fourth one is the one I would catch a lot. And Sci-Fi would play the fourth one a lot too.
I have not seen Superman 3 or 4 since I was a kid, but I've watched 1 and 2. 1's still pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, 1's fantastic. No, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed it, even though like it's weird. Like I've realizing that I can be a very big hypocrite on some things.
Yeah.
Good example. I recently just watched the Old Boy remake, the American remake of Old Boy.
The one with
Josh Brolin. Yeah, Josh Brolin, Samuel L. Jackson. And it was one of those situations that I knew it existed. I had never really been curious about it because I've always loved the original Old Boy because that movie's a freaking masterpiece. And my coworker had only seen the remake and loved it. And like that was anytime she would talk about like shocking movies with like some of the new people she'd be training at work, she would always bring up Old Boy, but she would bring up the American version. And I was like, have you even seen the original Korean version?
You're like pushing your glasses up.
Have you even seen the original Korean version? She's like, no. So she recently watched the Korean version, Still prefers the American version, which I'm not going to hold that against her. But as the deal of her seeing it, I decided to watch the remake. And to be honest, the remake's not that bad. It's absolutely fine. But knowing that the original exists, I can totally go back to the original as many times as I want. Much like with Suspiria as well. Like I was kind of against Suspiria when they were doing that remake.
I mean, I've never been one to be against a remake personally.
I've calmed down a lot since about it, but I mean, you've been my friend for a decade. You know how I used to be with some of that shit. But I also
you're unpleasant, yes.
But I mean, I also like I did see like Rob Zombie's Halloween opening night in theaters, but that was because I was a teenager and also got to see my first R-rated Halloween movie in theaters, for that matter. So,
well, you're lucky. Mine was Resurrection.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to see Resurrection in theaters, but
I saw that one in theaters.
And your mom leaned over and said, "This isn't very good."
No, it was when we were leaving.
It was done, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "That wasn't very good," and I was like, "No," I said, "That wasn't very good." She was like, "No, it was not."
But no, I've kind of tried to reassess lately on being more open to just giving movies a chance. And I mean, I've always been somebody too that will go through like Return of the Living Dead sequels, Reanimator sequels, and whatnot. Like I'll watch the entire run of a series. So I'm not really too picky in that regard, but sometimes I can get a little bit nitpicky.
I mean, I have to watch all of them.
Oh, I mean, I get that.
I get excited for the later ones.
Shit, you and I have watched the last 3 Children of the Corn sequels as they come out, along with Hellraiser sequels, because we are those people.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, spoilers, when you turn Pinhead into a human at the end of Judgment, I mean, that's pretty fucking awesome.
As punishment.
As punishment. Turn him into the one thing he really hates.
I mean, I'm more of a Snake Eater 3 is the best of all 3 Snake Eaters.
I was going to send you something because I found the original promo for Joe Bob's Drive-In where he talks about the Snake Eater night coming up.
Yeah, because he did the World Cable Television premiere of part 2.
Yeah.
Which is the worst one.
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
It's like slapsticky. It's very weird.
The best. So I went down a rabbit hole because you've been talking about Joe Bob's Drive-In. So I've been looking at clips and stuff on YouTube, and I went down a rabbit hole of this guy that has hundreds of Joe Bob's Drive-In videos. And I watched a promo he did with Linda Blair.
Oh yeah,
where he's like, "We're gonna have Linda Blair month." She's like, "A month? Like I didn't sign up for this." He's like, "Oh no, we already paid for the movies. We talked to your people. Like you're gonna be with us for a month." And she's like, "Oh, I don't have that much time."
He was Repossessed as one of the films he did on Linda Blair month. Actually, last night I was rewatching old Joe Bob's Drive-Ins, picking titles I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
And it finally happened. I stumbled across a movie I vividly remembered catching on cable as a kid that I never found.
What was it?
The Harvest. It is a weird movie.
90s?
A 1992 or 1.
Okay.
It was a American-Spanish or American-Mexican co-production. And it features George Clooney in a very early role playing a seductive transvestite dancing in a cage.
Pre-Return of Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
It was probably just after, but before
and
General
Horror
Hospital
High.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's starring this says 93. The lead actor is Miguel Ferrer.
Oh shit, I love Miguel Ferrer.
But it's like one of the only movies he was the lead in ever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Night Flyer.
Okay, no, you're right.
Yeah.
And actually his character reminds me a lot of his character in Night Flyer in this, because he's a novelist, not a novelist, a screenwriter who is investigating a true crime story to write a screenplay for a sleazy Hollywood producer played perfectly by Harvey Fierstein.
Of course.
And he ends up getting into the underworld. Now, I'm going to full disclosure. This was literally last night. I didn't finish the last 30 minutes yet.
Okay.
I'm watching those tonight.
Okay.
But in the first 30 minutes, he woke up without his kidney. He had his kidney stolen.
Shit.
And now he keeps trying to find who did this stuff to him. Another great cameo in it is Tim Thomerson plays the gringo who runs the like grotto where all the tourists come in this little Mexican village.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious because he's just like walking around in a robe with like his stomach, like he's pushing it out to look fatter. And he's just like, yeah. And like the kids come, like a bunch of little kids come and start like picking up his suitcases and like set them down. And they're like, dinero. And he's like, just get the hell out of here. And they all run away and he goes, good kids. Like he really chews up every scene he's in.
Oh man.
But it had 2 or 3 sequences that I remembered vividly seeing when I was a kid. But I know if I did finish the movie, I don't remember from back then. And this is the first time that's full blown happened since Dangerous Touch.
Dangerous Touch.
But this is the first time it's happened completely. Like I wasn't trying to find anything. I was just watching random Joe Bob's Drive-In movies.
It happens. I mean, every once in a while when I show you something, it'll happen. Not often to a point that like it's become a thing, but like there's been a few like Breakdown. I remember showing you Breakdown the first few minutes and you remembered it and stuff like that.
Well, often they're somewhat known movies though.
Yeah.
That I caught and forgot.
That makes sense. No, that totally makes sense.
This one, like I wasn't even looking for it. You know, I just, there were a few like very specific sequences involving like a dog and a cat fighting and some other stuff that I was just like, do I know this? And then there's this incredibly sleazy scene where he meets the woman who eventually helps steal his organs, where he's talking to a guy at the bar who's like super flamboyant and keeps hitting on him. And he keeps like, just, yeah. And look at this girl. Yeah. Look at this girl.
Yeah.
And then when he walks up to the girl, the gay guy walks up and takes an ice cube and drops it down her pants. He's like, this'll help. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go away. And then she like moves, squiggles around with like the ice cube in her pants and pulls it out and like rubs it on her stomach and stuff. And then puts it in Miguel Ferrer's mouth. No, in his mouth.
Oh, in the mouth. Okay.
And I remembered that sequence vividly because I remembered it being pretty weird.
Yeah, I would say so.
For being like 8 or 9 years old and not really understanding
there is that
so much. But no, so I'm like pumped to see where it goes because it was also not a bad one. I've also learned when you watch Joe Bob's Drive-In, with very few exceptions, if he says this is a great movie, you're going to have a really good time.
I mean, you proved that with introducing me to Lower Level this week.
Oh, phenomenal.
That was P2 Eat Your Heart Out.
I know. No,
like,
it's so good.
It's not listed. Like the only reference to P2 I found is in reviews for Lower Level. Like nobody has ever like
I was like mind blown that I found this one. And yeah, Lower Level was like really a mind blowing movie to discover. But yeah, so it's been interesting. Another one that I watched was Easy Wheels. This one is like not available anywhere. And it was produced by Sam Raimi and written by Ivan and Sam Raimi. And it is a biker movie farce. It is literally like Airplane for biker movies. It's like super goofy humor, really weird and out there, pretty boring.
Yeah.
It was during that brief period where Raimi was producing direct-to-video movies. It was really brief. I think he did like 5 or 6 because it ended around like he did Lunatics, A Love Story. He did Dead Next Door.
Having a
mental meltdown. No, that movie was one that I hunted forever to find.
Oh, I remember when you had told me about it, and then we pulled up that clip.
Yeah, well, I went on IMDb message boards and just said, does anyone know? All I remember is a guy's on a date and he keeps freaking out, and these hip hop guys start saying you're having a mental, I said breakdown.
Yeah.
And so it was like this one.
Yeah.
Lunatics, A Love Story. And then I kept confusing it for years with Psychos in Love. And then I finally found Lunatics, A Love Story.
Speaking of Psychos in Love, Galactic Gigolo just hit streaming. The other, what's his name? The guy that directed Gorman.
Gorman something. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
But yeah, his other movie with Cemetery High just hit streaming.
Nice.
Because I got the alert on my Letterboxd.
Very nice. Yeah. But yeah, so been a real Sophie's choice of weird shit.
I would say so, but we saw some really cool shit on Sunday because we checked out the new Superman movie.
Yeah. James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the people who want this movie to be like extremely divisive are trying to do the thing where they just say it's very divisive.
I can see that.
And I hear very few people actually like disliking it.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say that
a couple other superhero movies recently where it was the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They just completely skip him getting bitten.
Yeah, basically, I'm pretty sure.
The one with Tom Holland. I'm pretty sure they skipped his his origin,
Yeah.
which I loved because like we've seen it plenty.
Yeah. Well, and that allowed us to get literally right into the action. Because I mean, Superman starts and he's already just gotten beat in a battle, goes and heals again, then it goes right back into battle and we meet Lex Luthor.
The only complaint I saw about Superman online that I thought was really funny was somebody said, he's supposed to be Superman. The whole movie is him getting his ass kicked. And all I could think was like, yeah, I want to go watch a movie where a guy just does everything and it goes great the whole time.
I just want to see a Terminator.
And then just, no, he just like, oh, if a monster shows up, it kills it. Bad guy comes, he kills them, kisses the girl, and then it ends right when he goes to take a shit. He's like, all right, now to take care of some business. And then the credits could roll as he's just knocking off a couple Kryptonian logs.
Kryptonian logs.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's like, no, that's the thing though, is like sometimes people's complaints don't really fit the logic of being a human being. Like,
I can see that.
well, like remember, this is one of yours.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it was about the Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
It was about the trailer.
Yeah.
You just didn't like that they gave away so much in the trailer.
Yeah.
But my point was, well, if they don't give away that he starts turning psycho, then the trailer is just, so a family comes and meets a nice family and they have dinner together, but it is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Come see it.
Yeah.
People will be like, what? You know, it's hard. It's hard though. I mean, trailers are a tricky thing.
They are, but like I think it's funny to compare trailers now to like, so I've got those trailer disc compilations like Drive-In Delirium, Trailer Trauma, which I recommend highly if you're a fan of literally sitting down and watching movie trailers. Those collections are like 6.5 hours, if not more sometimes.
Sure.
But it's hilarious to compare trailers now to what they used to be, because like for the trailer, for example, I'll give like French Connection. French Connection's like a 3-minute trailer.
You might have been watching an international trailer.
It's possible, but I mean, a lot of those older trailers did give away a lot and were a lot longer.
Yeah, well, but it is important, and this is a real thing that people don't understand.
Yeah.
A lot, and not just like you at home watching, but I mean like people making Blu-rays and stuff will find a reel that says like Jaws trailer.
Yeah.
And it'll be 3.5 minutes long. They'll just scan it and put it out into the world or put it on as a special feature or whatever. And it's basically an international trailer is really a market trailer.
Yeah.
And those always give away a ton more because they're really just a way for the buyers to watch a highlight reel of 3 minutes to hopefully just buy it without even having to screen it all the way.
And it's usually all the juicy stuff so that they know what they're getting too.
And usually it's not well connected. Like it's not extremely well connected. Like it won't be perfectly like, but I was kidnapped and you're like seeing the B-roll as he's talking. It'll be just a really good scene.
Yeah.
A really good scene. Maybe a narrator or maybe text on the screen saying like, you know, insane action. And then this thing. Usually if a trailer is like 3 minutes long, especially for back in the day, it's a market or international trailer. And you know, when people are restoring, especially these older, lesser known movies, they just see a reel with all the other reels that says so-and-so trailer.
Yeah.
So they scan it and put it up. But I have noticed, especially places like Severin, they've started to really be good about putting like market trailer or international trailer.
Well, and that's the thing is like a lot of those places like Severin, Vincent, Shout will have the listing for them like international trailer, VHS trailer, like stuff like that.
Sure.
So they'll label them and so you know. But yeah, it's kind of funny because like going through a lot of older trailers, because I just do sometimes, it used to give away a lot more in my opinion.
Well, they did a study, and this drives my friends crazy when I explain this, because a lot of people are like, they gave away too much of the trailer. It's like, okay, I mean, you're going to see the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like they show you who the killer was or, you know, give away the last 6 minutes, but they did a study where they showed people movie trailers and then showed them one of the movies and did the test marketing that they normally do. But they didn't tell them. They just said, we're going to show you some trailers before the film. They didn't tell them you're going to see one of the films. And people tested highest on the scenes that were in the trailer, bar none.
Oh, yeah.
Now, part of that is because some of the scenes are the most exciting, but it's also because you're setting an expectation. Because imagine this for all the people that get mad, like they give away too much of the trailer. Imagine this for a second. How many people watch a movie and get mad because that scene wasn't in the movie
trailer,
they saw in the trailer?
Which is very common back then too, especially.
Well, and it happens now too. I mean, that happened with Joker too.
Yeah.
There were several like little sequences that ended up being cut from the movie. In the olden days, you know, when you were cutting a lower budget movie in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you would use outtakes in the trailer to save money.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have to make a copy of a scene in order to create. So you would use alternate takes, you would use alternate whatever, you would use something right before a line flubbed in order to save some money.
Yeah.
That's a very, very common thing.
Well, and also it's hilarious too because the amount of scenes and trailers that are not in the movie, the theatrical version will say, will show up in the TV cut sometimes, where the TV cuts will have, 20 extra minutes sometimes.
Oh yeah, because you got to fit the time slot properly so that they can fit enough ads and interstitials and stuff like that.
Well, because Uncle Buck still has multitude of scenes missing to this day, apparently, that are some that are in the trailer and some that are on the TV cut.
Sure. Well, the most famous TV cut, I think, in the world is Halloween's TV cut because it had way more stuff, which they actually shot while shooting Halloween 2. Which Halloween 2 also has a really good TV cut.
Yeah.
Because they knew, back then, licensing like Halloween to, I think it was NBC or it was ABC, NBC, one of them. That's like millions of dollars.
Halloween 2's TV cut though really does make me laugh because they take some liberties with some things. Because the two that always come to mind are the scene when he goes into the couple's house to get the knife and bleeds on the cutting board. On the TV cut, when she turns around and screams and like they normally have the shot of her reaching in the blood, there's a still frame of Michael in the scene when he kills the nurse in the hot tub.
Well, you know what, Dave? They're not wizards.
The other one is Jimmy doesn't find Miss Alice in the TV cut. The explosion is what knocks him out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it was tough. Well, and also, they don't want the audience to feel like they're being ripped off. Like, because that's the other things when people say, like, why is the TV cut different? It's like, well, they could just put a big black box over the violence or whatever, but then you would feel like you're gypped out of what you're trying to watch.
Or you're watching storytelling.
That's a hilarious story telling. No, but yeah. So like, I think one of my favorite examples was on Return of the Living Dead. They had that, I forget what Suicide had on his back jacket, but it was like a ton of swear words.
Yeah.
And they shot every scene where you could see his back again with the same jacket, but it said TV version written on it.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Because I know the one that I always think of too is in the Birdcage when they show the shot of Hank Azaria as Agadora cleaning the pool out with the not a thong, but it's a Speedo on. They drew shorts on him in the AMC version.
Oh, it's hilarious when they do that. No, there's been a lot of that over the years. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh yeah.
He's wearing that shirt that says I hate and then a very offensive word towards black people.
Not shirt, it's a sandwich board.
Oh, sorry, sandwich board.
Yeah.
He's wearing a sandwich board that says that. And on the TV version, it just says, I hate everybody
everyone.
or everyone or whichever, which is funny though, because then when you watch the TV version, it feels like they live in like an alternate, like hyper violent universe because it's like, he's wearing a sandwich board that says, I hate everyone.
Call the police.
And it's like, call the police. Somebody's about to get murdered. And it's like, well, in the original context, I believed that.
Yeah. In this one,
but walking through Harlem with a sandwich board that just says, I hate everyone. I feel like they sell those on the corner.
But no, going back to Superman, I think one of my favorite things about this version, and given, like, again, I've only seen Christopher Reeve's version once now, but what I loved about this version was there's so much. Gunn gets this thing that has to do with background. Stuff that happens in the background in this movie especially is hilarious. The scene when Clark is in his apartment and Lois is there and they're fighting that giant squid in the background.
Yeah, there's a dimensional monster being fought by other superheroes in the background as they're talking. And she's like, do you like briefly? She just goes, should you help them out? And he's like, oh, they've got
that.
But he doesn't even say it like funny. He just means he's like, oh, they've got this.
Yeah.
We need to talk. It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't super crazy jokey.
No.
But it had a lot of levity.
It had a lot of levity.
But you know what I thought was really impressive for James Gunn? And I saw what he was doing. When the movie was over and the credits were rolling.
Yeah.
And I noticed after, a 3-minute scroll of effects artists, we got to the soundtrack listing.
Yeah.
4 songs.
Yeah.
In the whole film. 4.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't include the original score. 4 songs.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite a flex.
Yeah.
Because he's famous for
Needle drops.
working popular music into, to the point where one of my favorite things about Guardians of the Galaxy is the soundtrack.
See, I love the Suicide Squad when you open with the Suicide Squad getting wiped out, and then they go to the people that died by the Jim Carroll band.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, when I say I love the soundtrack of Galaxy, I mean, like, I literally like listen to just that. I have the soundtrack and I listen to it in the car. But no, you're right. Like, he has a really great way of picking popular music.
Yeah.
He did that with Peacemaker, had a lot of really great uses of popular music.
I think even Slither did too.
Probably, but he probably couldn't afford that much popular
That's fair,
music.
yeah.
So my point is, though, to do Superman, one of the biggest budget, biggest superhero movies of all time, where he's famous for doing that, and then he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice. The only reason I noticed was that it was such a short credit listing. It was only 4. That's why I went, whoa, there was like no songs in this.
Was that made up band?
Oh,
that Clark liked.
The Crab's Killer?
Crab Joys?
Mighty
Crab Joys.
The Mighty Crab Joys.
Yeah. Which they played the song out in the credits.
So I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. I'm not a particular Superman fan.
Yeah.
And honestly, the biggest criticisms I've heard were just people saying like, it was a pretty good Superman movie.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say like, loved the Superman. The movie was fine, but the Superman was great.
Superman's great. I think David, is it Corn Sweat or Corinne Sweat? However you say it.
Corn something.
Yeah. Corinne Sweat, I think is how you pronounce it. But he was great. Rachel Brosnahan was great, and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is fan-fucking-tastic.
Did you see Gunn said how he discovered the guy that played Superman?
In Pearl.
He said that's how he discovered him was he was watching Pearl.
And also, we got to say, Crypto, steals the show too.
Oh, the dog.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the dog is pretty fun
and great. Like the use of Crypto is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, which is a thing with Gunn, especially in these big movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. He loves to take anything you see and pay it off later. He's very obsessive with it.
Yeah.
So Crypto's initially humorous ways pay off later in a big way. So it is nice because it also makes you feel less like you're getting just a ton of, fan service or whatever. And instead you're getting like an actual attempt at telling a story.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a sucker for anything with the Kents, with Superman's human parents. They always make me happy.
Yeah. Oh, and they the Kansas family in this one is so freaking heart melting. What?
Heart melting. Huh?
Heart melting. They're not heartwarming. They're heart melting.
Okay. But no, so I mean, I would go see it again.
Oh yeah,
I really liked it.
I want to go see it again already. I was ready to watch it again when we were done that first time seeing it.
Yeah, me too. No, honestly, I would have even considered it if I hadn't had to work.
Yeah. But we also just got back this evening from seeing I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025.
Yes.
The Legacy sequel.
The Legacy sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer, which may sound familiar because we just recently talked about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel. Did. And I appreciated the nods, which slowly got more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to have a great time with I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025, just drink every time they say 1997.
You'll get pretty sloshed.
You'll get pretty sloshed.
Yeah, you get pretty sloshed.
Yeah. But no, I thought so for those who are not aware, basically what's happening in this one is you've got another group of teens that get involved in an accident that causes the life loss of somebody. And now a year later, they are haunted again by somebody sending notes that says, I still know what you did last summer. And
no,
also
they're saying,
a murder.
Know.
Yeah, and a murder.
They're saying, I know what you
did last summer.
Not I still know. That's the next one.
Yeah, I know. But but no, and then a murder happens, and then there's a whole. What I liked about this version of the story was there was a whole addition to the fact that they are trying to completely and did wipe away everything that happened in the '97 for Southport.
Yeah, like the town itself has tried really hard to forget.
Yeah,
for lots of reasons.
Yep.
Which is not an uncommon trope.
No, Camp Forest Green.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, or Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
I mean, not just the Gordon Green, but I mean like. In Halloween 4, it's like in Halloween 6, it's like they banned Halloween for quite a while and stuff like that.
And yet in Halloween 4, you can still buy that mask in stores. Still one of my biggest.
Well, in Halloween 4, they still had Halloween.
Yes,
so
but they also still sold Michael's mask in stores because that's how he gets his mask.
Yeah, no, that's a lazy move. I mean, although it is just a plain Jane mask, you could argue that it's just a mask that's ubiquitous in that universe.
Also, why is there so much blood on the ambulance? Not inside the ambulance. There's plenty of blood in the ambulance, but there's so much blood on the ambulance in that movie.
You're talking about
Halloween 4.
Still?
Yes.
Let's talk about Halloween 5 instead.
No, fuck you.
There we go.
But yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I thought it was fun. It takes a lot of big swings, especially with its legacy characters. That's all I'm going to say on that. But overall, I had fun with it. I think it will definitely, it'll definitely divide fans. You're either going to love it or hate it. I don't think there's going to be an in between.
Yeah, I think I didn't hate it by any stretch, but we've had the bar set very high with some recent legacy sequels over the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I did not feel like this one had the oomph. I did not get the vibe that whoever wrote that like really was into the lore of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It felt like there were really strong scenes, and you and I were talking about this off mic a little bit, but like the last 20 minutes did some really odd choices with its characters.
Yeah.
And also the post-credit sequence is a very big swing.
Yeah. I mean, well, I would not be shocked in the least if that was decided to be done after the fact.
That could be.
Because the other thing the movie did was it had a little bit of a schizophrenicness about how much of a fan service it wanted to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it wanted to be a big fan service, and other times it did not want to be a fan service much at all. I loved all the fake outs. I would say that the first 10 or 15 minutes of it was extremely strong.
Yeah.
With the way they were playing with your expectations, because it isn't a remake.
No.
It's a retread.
Yeah.
So you're expecting kind of the exact same thing. And then they're like, no. Why would you get the exact same thing? We're not giving you the exact same thing.
And it doesn't have your normal beats as a slasher movie. They really kind of sold you out a little bit on when the kills were going to happen. And like they would wrap it. Some of them would just come out of nowhere. Like where you're just be like, oh shit, this is happening now. Okay.
Well, that also was because I thought they had an immense amount of red herrings.
They absolutely did.
And so they had to kind of make sure that if they had somebody on screen that they were trying to make you wonder was the killer, they didn't want them to be stalked and killed, because that would ruin the surprise of like, oh, I guess they aren't the killer because they just got a hook through their neck.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I thought that was all handled really well. I didn't find it until the end. It wasn't particularly cringy.
Yeah.
It got kind of cringy toward the end.
Like I said, like the last 20 minutes, it's a bit make or break. I think what I really, really liked about this movie as a whole was that it did give due respect to its original predecessor. Like it did, the legacy sequel characters are not, I hope I'll say it again, they're not Texas Chainsaw and Sally Hardesty. Like they did.
No, that was rough.
That was rough.
No, they really sprinkled the legacy characters in here and there, which also kind of annoyed me because they end up playing a major role in the whole of everything.
Yeah.
But they're just barely there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but there are some surprises too for fans.
It's just there's this part of me where it's like, okay, on one hand, you're cashing in on the name, you're cashing in on the concept. So do you want to just give us Freddie Prinze and Jennifer Love Hewitt running around in the rain again?
Yeah.
Like, because we all loved it.
Yeah.
Or do you want to give us something totally new? And it felt like almost like they were beholden to keeping the legacy characters in the game here and there.
Well, and I'm gonna say this too. I think that the new crop of characters, they weren't bad, but I remember 2 of their names out of all the ones that we were given.
My only problem with my biggest problem with the characters were, they were a little light.
Yeah.
Even the main character didn't really have a lot to her.
No.
Like I mentioned how we because at one point when things were kind of happening, I was like, does she have any family or anything? Because they never referenced like my mom or my dad or anything, but she's at her hometown from college. You'd think there'd be somebody there.
Yeah.
Other than her, old high school friends.
And I thought more of the town lore would come about, but I guess they kind of just threw you some fake outs more so.
Well, because there isn't really a town lore. It's just it was a normal town, and then the murder happened, and then some people were covering it up. They did make it seem like it was lascivious, but it wasn't exactly so, which I like that too. I mean, it was a good whodunit.
Yeah.
Enough of a good whodunit.
Yeah.
What was it? There was one other thing. Like, I think the end, it ended kind of rough. It felt kind of like it had been meddled with.
Yeah.
But I can't lie. Like when you mentioned that the lead actress was the lead in Bodies, my first thought was, man, why didn't they get the people who made Bodies to make I Know What You Did Last Summer? Like, why not get some? Because they kind of handed it to like an upstart team who had done some Marvel movies and stuff as writers. And all I could think was like, man, they couldn't have grabbed like, I don't know, just somebody who had had like a like a surprise, like an A24 person,
Yeah.
or a Neon. They're having, the Neon people are having a lot of luck. Like you couldn't have got like the people who did Cuckoo. That could have been interesting. I don't know what it would have been. I'm just saying like that part felt a little bit more like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like I would be curious what the pitch would have been.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like there was a big swing about what they were going to do with it.
I think there's definitely some studio meddling in it by far with the ending, I would say. Because, there's just, like I said, it just takes some swings. But no, I think it's absolutely worth a watch. I don't think it's bad per se. I enjoyed it. I think if you're a fan of the series, you'll find things to pick out of it to enjoy if you don't enjoy the movie as a whole.
The only other problem I had with it was the best friend of the main character, the rich blonde girl.
Yeah.
Like, we all like a bubblehead or an airhead character to chuckle with, but like she could qualify for disability. She was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like her IQ, I mean, if it like is not high enough to pass a class, like it's gotta be sub 60. Like there were just all these silly, there was a part where she's just like her, doesn't spoil much, but like her ex-boyfriend is over and like some people have been murdered around her. And then it's like, do you want to cuddle with me? And I'm like, that was a day ago.
Well,
you saw a murder.
I'll put this out there, not necessarily a spoiler, but then you have the scene where the guy goes into the steam room and the glass is written and says, "You're next." And then what's he doing? He's just sitting on a dock drinking beers. Like not even
his dock,
but still like he's not even buckling down or battening down the hatches.
The fact that he was in a steam room alone.
I mean, there's that. Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, when you get a message that says you're next, I would think you would do something.
Yeah, they were not the smartest characters. And I think that's what got it kind of cringy later on, was that some of the characters were all of a sudden being very smart or they were trying to be very smart. And I was just like, I don't buy it.
Well, and it also did one of my least favorite trips that I talked about last week, where once the killer's
real
psycho.
Yeah. I'm the killer all along. Yeah. I looked at you when the killer started talking like that. And although that gives a spoiler, the killer is the ability to speak. I spoiled the whole movie. No, but it was a fun time. I will be very curious to see how it does.
Yeah, same.
Because I don't think it's going to do well.
I don't either.
But I could be wrong because we saw it preview night.
Yeah.
So by the time this airs, it'll be opening weekend will be over and we could be wrong.
I think this is second preview night because I think it actually did drop last night.
Why would it drop last night?
I had friends that went and saw it. I don't know if it was just special or what it was, but no, I had a couple friends.
I mean, around here?
Yeah. Cincinnati.
I don't know. Because there's no holiday weekend. So previews were today. That's why it only started at 5:00.
Yeah.
But we went to a 5:30 p.m. show.
Yeah.
And we were like 2 of like 4 people in the whole theater.
Yeah.
Which isn't great, but it doesn't mean anything because more people are going to come to 8:00, 9:00, 10:00.
I can't remember the last time that we had a preview screening that was like legitimately packed recently, I would say.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
It's been a little while.
But
we also don't go to a lot of preview screenings.
I mean, yeah, not anymore.
We mostly go the Tuesday after opening.
But no, I had fun with it. I'll be curious to see how it does. And if you enjoyed it, feel free to write us in and let us know what you thought of it too.
Yeah. I guess I'll give the email address. You're just like, no, just write us.
Just write us.
That's doyouevenmoviepod@gmail.com. We do love to hear from you guys. So with that all being said,
let's get on a boat and we'll leave Southport.
We should set sail.
Yes, we should. Because we are talking about one that I had no idea was a favorite of yours. I don't know when I figured out that you knew this movie, because like this is one that has been with me for a long time.
It was on HBO all the time.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, but it was one that like I've never heard many people talk about, and that is 1992's Captain Ron.
Yeah, with Kurt Russell.
1 hour and 40 minutes, rated PG-13 for elements of sensuality and for some language.
Elements of sensuality.
IMDb synopsis says, a Chicagoan inherits an old yacht. He, his wife, daughter, and son fly to the Caribbean island and hire a dubious Captain Ron to sail them on an adventure to Miami.
I mean, pretty much.
My synopsis, when Martin inherits an old yacht, he and his family hire an unconventional captain to help them sail the boat to Miami, setting off a series of chaotic events. Pretty solid.
No, that's a pretty good one. Yeah.
One tagline this week only.
Oh, that's
only one. Martin just wanted a nice, quiet family vacation. Instead, he got ... Captain Ron.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Ron, currently rentable on Prime and Fandango, not streaming anywhere, but Touchstone, so not surprised.
Oh, yeah.
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 Director and one of the writers on the film is Thom Eberhardt. He gets his start in 1984, directing and writing a little film called Soul Survivor.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Then, the same year,
That's funny.
directs and writes Night of the Comet.
Yep.
Then, 1988, writes and directs The Night Before with Steve Guttenberg. Goes on to do Captain Ron in 92, Face Down in 97, Rats with a Z in 2000.
I remember Rats.
I Was a Teenage Faust in 2002. Also in this time, he's also a writer on All I Want for Christmas in 1991, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid in 92. He also directs in 1988 Without a Clue, Gross Anatomy in 89, Parker Lewis Can't Lose in 1990, Space Rangers in 1994. Divine Rapture in 95, Twice Upon a Time in 98, and in 2007, Naked Fear. The other writer on the film is John Dwyer. He gets his writing credit for Captain Ron in 92. And then in 2016, this is fucking crazy, bud. 2016, Confessions of a Serial Killer. Based on Henry Lee Lucas, there is no information about it. You can find the IMDb page, but there's nothing on it.
Wait, what'd you say his name was?
John Dwyer.
That was your fake name the director used on that film.
No shit.
I bet that's misattributed.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, because he might have worked on Captain Ron as like in some kind of advisory thing, but John Dwyer is a fake name.
Okay, because 2016 Confessions of a Serial Killer is a listing.
Yeah, well, that's just wrong. There's no 2016 Confessions of a Serial Killer. I mean, we've talked at length about Confessions
of a Serial Killer.
Yeah, that's just IMDb being wrong.
Okay. Well, moving down to our cinematographer, we have Darren Okada, who gets his start in 1984 as a DP on Kid Video, goes on to shoot Nomad Raiders in 84, Monaco Forever in 84. Then in 88, shoots a little film called Phantasm 2.
Oh.
Then in 89, shoots a little film called Survival Quest.
Wow. Okay.
Then in 1990, shoots the Dave Thomas Comedy Show. Elvis in 1990, Punk Vacation in 1990, Blind Vengeance in 1990, Wild Hearts Can Be Broken in 91, In a Child's Name in 91, which is the Tom McLaughlin true crime movie that I told you about.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we shot that. Boris and Natasha in 91.
That movie was always on TV when I was a kid.
Captain Ron in 92, Airborne in 93. Then he goes on to shoot My Father the Hero in 94, Eyes of Terror in 94, Separated by Murder in 94, Big Bully in 96 with Tom Arnold.
Of course.
Black Sheep in 96 with Chris Farley and David Spade. Mother's Instinct in 96. Vanishing Point remake in 97. Anna Karenina in 97. He shoots the Celine Dion concert in 97 as well. Episodes of Dawson's Creek. Senseless in 98. Then in 98, he also shoots a little film called Halloween H2O.
Oh, wow.
Follows that up in 99 with Lake Placid.
Oh, wow. I was expecting him to go only into TV, and now he's heading right back into features. Okay.
So Lake Placid in 99, Wasteland in 99, Texas Rangers in 2001. Goes on to shoot Dr. Dolittle 2 in 2001.
Now we're talking about film.
Good Advice in 2002. Joe Somebody in 2001 with Tim Allen.
Oh, God, I forgot all about that one.
One of my all-time favorites, Cradle to the Grave in 2003 with Jet Li and DMX.
Yeah.
Then goes on to shoot Mean Girls in 2004.
Jeez.
Paparazzi in 2004. Just Like Heaven in 2005. Another favorite of mine, Stick It in 2006. Then goes on to shoot Sex and Death 101 in 2007. Baby Mama in 2008.
Oh, my God. Baby Mama.
Everyone forgot about Baby Mama. Harold and Kumar, Escape from Guantanamo Bay in 2008. Follows that up with Ghosts of Girlfriends Past in 2009, the Matthew McConaughey movie.
I am a fan.
Follows that up with another favorite of mine in 2009, The Goods, Live Hard and Sell Hard with Jeremy Piven.
Oh, that's a great
fucking love that
That's
movie.
a fun comedy.
Then goes on to shoot the series Switched at Birth in 2011. 2012, American Reunion.
Wow.
Goes on to shoot Made in Jersey in 2012. Movie 43 in 2013. Franklin and Bash in 2013. Let's Be Cops in 2014.
I kind of liked Let's Be Cops.
Let's Be Cops is fun. Dolphin Tale 2 in 2014.
Oh.
Goes on to shoot episodes of Castle in 2015, Grey's Anatomy in 2017, Scandal in 2018, The Last Thing He Told Me in 2023, and most recently, Station 19 in 2024.
Wow.
Darren Okada has a fucking resume.
That
Let
is
me tell
quite
you.
the resume. Side note, by the way, about John Dwyer.
Yeah.
I had it backwards. John Dwyer's his real name.
Okay.
Mark Blair was the fake name he
name.
used. And from what I understand, he did work on Captain Ron.
Okay.
And that was one of the only because he was mostly I believe he mostly did commercials and industrials.
Okay.
As a career. So I don't think he had much else to be on IMDb.
Makes sense.
So anyway, it's important that we clear up the mystery about Confessions of a Serial Killer.
From 2016, I was just like, did they remake it and it never came out?
No, that's just, I don't know what the hell. Somebody was creating a listing and didn't know what they were doing. So they probably just put the year that it was
That makes sense.
or something. I don't know.
So going to our cast, we have Mr. Kurt Russell, of course, who plays Captain Ron in the film. He gets a start in 1959 on Dennis the Menace. 110 credits on his resume, by the way.
Holy crap.
Everybody that I'm going to talk about, the 3 that I picked in for the casting in this, all have over 100 credits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Kurt Russell as Captain Ron gets a start on Dennis the Menace in 1959, goes on to be in Happened at the World's Fair in 63, The 11th Hour in 63, Guns of Diablo, The Virginian, The Fugitive, Follow Me Boys in 1966, The Road West, Horse in a Gray Flannel Suit, Daniel Boone in 69, The Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes in 69, then came Bronson in 69, The High Chaparral in 1970, Love American Style in 1970, The Barefoot Executive in 71, Fool's Paradise, Charlie and the Angel, Gunsmoke in 74, Strongest Man in the World in 75, Harry O, The Deadly Tower, Police Story, The Quest, does Elvis in 1979, the John Carpenter movie.
I have never seen it. I've always wanted to.
You never seen it?
I haven't.
It's
but
good.
I've always wanted to.
It's a good telling. Then in 1980, lands Used Cars.
That's too fucking high.
Follows that up with Escape from New York in 81.
Okay.
Follows that up with The Fox and the Hound in 81. The Thing in 82. Silkwood in 83. Swing Shift in 84. The Mean Season in 85. Follows that up with The Best of Times in 86, where he co-stars with Robin Williams, by the way. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
Best of Times is Robin Williams is on a football team in his high school, and he misses this big catch, and that is all he's known for. So then Kurt Russell, of course, is the star quarterback. So Robin Williams kind of wants to do his image. So they decide to do this football game to revitalize everything and try the catch again.
Wow. Okay. That's kind of sounds fun.
Not a great movie,
No?
but it's pretty funny.
Okay.
Not a great one, but it's pretty funny. So yes, Best of Times in 86. Follows that up with Big Trouble in Little China in 86. Goes on to do Overboard in 87. Follows that up with another favorite of mine, Tequila Sunrise in 88, which is him, Mel Gibson, and Raul Julia. And Michelle Pfeiffer.
I need to see that.
Yeah, you do. One of the most underrated of his. Honestly, I would say that is probably one of his most underrated movies. Not a lot of people like it though, too.
Oh well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Winter People in 89, Tango and Cash in 89, Backdraft in 91, another underrated Unlawful Entry in 92 with Ray Liotta.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Captain Ron in 92, then does Tombstone in 93, follows that up with Forrest Gump in 94, which he played Elvis in.
Of course.
Stargate in 94, Executive Decision in 96, Escape from LA in 96, Breakdown in 97, probably a future episode on the show.
Now love me some breakdown.
Soldier in 98, 3,000 Miles to Graceland in 2001, one of my favorites of his. Vanilla Sky 2001, Interstate 60 2002, Dark Blue, Miracle, Jiminy Glick and La La Wood in 2004.
Of course.
I watched this scene today when I was putting this together. He's so good
Jiminy
in that movie. Sky High in 2005, Dreamer 2005, Poseidon 2006, Grindhouse, Death Proof in 2007, Cutlass, Touchback, Art of the Steal in 2013, which is another one I recommend if you haven't seen that.
No.
He's putting together a team to steal a famous piece of art. So he's basically putting together a heist team. I saw it on Netflix when I was working at the TV station back in the day. Really, really good. Has a really solid twist, too. Furious 7 in 2015, Bone Tomahawk 2015, The Hateful Eight, Deepwater Horizon, The Fate and the Furious, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Christmas Chronicles in 2018, Crypto, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019, Christmas Chronicles Part 2 in 2020, F9, The Fast Saga in 2021, What If, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Rivals of Amazon King in 2025, and most recently, Smurfs in 2025.
Of course.
Yes. So Kurt Russell, I mean, if you
Man.
haven't seen half of those movies, you're missing out because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Other in the cast, we also have Martin Short, who plays Martin Harvey in the film. 115 credits on his resume.
Well, not surprised by that.
Yeah.
No.
Cucumber in 72 is where he gets his start, then goes on to be in the David Steinberg Show in 77. For the Record in 79. Lost and Found, The Love Boat, The Associates, I'm a Big Girl Now, Taxi in 81, Second City TV in 82, Sunset Limousine, SNL in 84, Tall Tales and Legends in 85, Three Amigos in 86, Interspace in 87, follows that up with Cross My Heart, The Complete Mental Misadventures of Ed Brimley in 88, Three Fugitives in 89, The Big Picture in 89, Martin Short Goes to Hollywood in 89, Tracy Ullman Show, Pure Luck, Father of the Bride, Captain Ron in 92, then goes on to be in We're Back, A Dinosaur Story in 93, Clifford in 94.
Which I feel like that movie kind of hurt his career some.
Clifford.
I feel like I don't know if it was a big success, but people, I feel like, kind of got it in their head that Martin Short was just annoying.
Mm.
And I think it might have been because of Clifford.
I mean, he's very annoying, Clifford.
Well, that's
Clifford's
the idea.
Still a great movie.
Yeah.
The Pebble and the Penguin in 95, Father of Bride Part 2, Mars Attacks, Jungle to Jungle, A Simple Wish, Merlin, Prince of Egypt, Alice in Wonderland, Mumford, Get Over It, Prince Charming, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius in 2001, where he played the voice of the main alien. Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2002, 101 Dalmatians, Patch's London Adventure in 2002.
Aw, the best of them.
Treasure Planet, Primetime Glick in 2003, Jiminy Glick and La La Wood in 2004.
I liked the Jiminy Glick stuff he did.
It's great.
I feel like he was a little too ahead of his time, honestly.
He was.
Not just, first of all, I love that his voice would just always start really high and go really low. So tell me a little bit more about your career in that. But also, like, do you remember how he would while they were talking, he would like start sitting up like higher and higher on his chair, and then he'd be like laying across the arms and he'd fall over.
Or how he just completely phase out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, interesting. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I also loved his his questions were always on crumpled up paper. That was always my favorite.
Yeah. I enjoyed me some Jiminy Glick.
Well, do you remember how Jiminy Glick and La La Wood starts?
I don't.
He
know.
plays David Lynch.
Oh, wow.
Martin Short is David Lynch in the very opening of that movie.
That is hilarious.
Talking about Jiminy Glick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah. No, it's great. Arrested Development in 2005, Law & Order SVU in 2005, Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause in 2006, The Spiderwick Chronicles, Damages, Hoodwink 2, Weeds. I forgot he was in Weeds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How I Met Your Mother, Madagascar 3, Frankenweenie, Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return, The Wind Rises, Inherent Vice, Mulaney, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Difficult People, Modern Family in 2016, Hairspray Live, BoJack Horseman in 2017, The Simpsons, Last Man on Earth, Magic School Bus Rides Again, Big Mouth in 2019, Addams Family in 2019, The Morning Show in 2019, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in 2023, Grimsburg in 2025, and also currently on Only Murders in the Building.
Oh man, and I fell out, but that first 2 seasons of Only Murders in the Building I really liked.
It's a fun show.
I need to get back into it.
Yeah, same. And also on the cast we have Mary Kay Place, who plays Catherine Harvey in the film. 143 credits on her resume.
That doesn't shock me. She was in everything for a long time and still is in a lot.
Gets her start in 1973 on All in the Family. Goes on to be in MASH in 74, Mary Tyler Moore Show, Bound for Glory, New York, Mary Hartman, Forever Fernwood, Captain Kangaroo in 79, More American Graffiti in 79, which I'm not a fan of that movie.
Ouch.
I'm not a
jeez.
fan of American Graffiti. I'll say it.
Oh, man.
I'll say it. Like
Kitty's got claws.
I really wanted to like American Graffiti because it's one of my mom's favorite movies. It's one of my grandma's favorite movies. Xander, my best friend, one of his favorite movies. And I've seen it 3 times now. And each time I watch it, I like it a little less.
Wow, that's how I feel about Napoleon Dynamite.
Well, you're wrong.
The first time I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I really liked it. So much that 2 weeks later, I rented it again, and I was not a fan. Like, it got worse to me for some reason.
How long has it been?
I think I gave it another chance like 5 or 6 years after that when I was like 20 something.
Okay.
Or yeah, I was probably 25 or 26. I mean, I don't think it's horribly unfunny. I just don't know. It just didn't quite click with me.
I revisited it a couple years ago, and it still fucking hits with me. But I mean, I've always liked it from the start.
Well, I mean, I liked it that first viewing.
Yeah.
Although I always wonder what is with that director, because he thinks there is very little as funny as Hispanic people talking slowly.
Did you see what was that movie called? Gentlemen Broncos?
No, I didn't see that.
That
one.
was a weird
I
one.
saw Nacho Libre, and I was good after that.
Never saw the Nacho Libre.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I knew that.
Which I always thought that the true story was really cool, but I just kind of, it was fine.
So More American Graffiti in 79, Starting Over in 79, Private Benjamin, Modern Problems, Waltz Across Texas, The Big Chill in 83, which I forgot she was in, even though she's a huge role. I just didn't recognize
How'd you
her.
forget about the
I
Big
didn't
Chill?
recognize her. Terms of Endearment in 83, For the Love of Money, Explorers. Hey, Explorers. The pairing with the Fire in the Sky. Smooth Talk, A New Life, Portrait of a White Marriage in 88, Out on the Edge, Bright Angel, 30-something in 1990, Crazy from the Heart, Samantha, Bed of Lies, does Captain Ron in 92, then goes on to do Just My Imagination in 92.
She was in, I don't know, do you remember how much I love the movie Samantha?
Oh, yeah.
That's a great film.
That's the one you got recently with, what's-her-face?
It wasn't recent. That was like the beginning of lockdown.
I hate you. Don't say that.
I'm just being honest.
You are being honest.
Because I found a like out of print DVD for a couple bucks, but I've always loved that movie.
What the hell is her name? She's in Goonies. She's in Pecker.
I always struggle with this with her name.
Samantha in 91, Bed of Lies 92, Captain Ron, Just My Imagination, Telling Secrets, Tales of the City, In the Line of Duty, Price of Vengeance in 94, which I just watched recently. Teresa's Tattoo in 94, that horrible movie we watched.
Yeah, that I hunted it down for you. By the way, her name is Martha Plimpton.
Plimpton, yes. My Very Best Friend in 96, For My Daughter's Honor in 96, Eye of God, The Rainmaker, How to Make the Cruelest Month, Pecker in 98, Point Last Seen, Being John Malkovich, Girl Interrupted, Committed, Wild Thornberries, My First Mister, Human Nature, Further Tales of the City, The Safety of Objects, Citizen Baines, Leap Years, Undeclared, Sweet Home Alabama, Law and Order SVU, Latter Days, The Handler, Death in Texas, Killer Driller, Silver City, West Wing, Lonesome Jim, 9 Lives, Jack and Bobby, Numbers, Mama's Boy, Saving Grace, City of Ember, Pushing Daisies, King of the Hill, Julie and Julia, Youth in Revolt.
Yeah, I love that movie. I need to revisit it. It's been
Solidarity.
Oh man, Fred Willard.
R.I.P. It's Complicated 2009, Shrek Forever After 2010, Bored to Death, Big Love. Oh yeah, fuck, she is in Big Love.
Really great role.
Yeah.
Like incredible arc for her character in Big Love.
I've been thinking about restarting Big Love.
Oh, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's such a great film. Or great series, rather.
Because I restarted it when Paxton passed. So that's been probably almost a decade now.
Yeah, I rewatched it like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Life and Times of Tim, Suburgatory, Bad Milo, Californication, Holidays, Miss Meadows, The Mentalist, Looking, The Intern, Family Guy, Grace and Frankie, Blackish, Downsizing, Grey's Anatomy, The Romanovs, Shameless, 911 Lone Star, and most recently, My Father's Dragon in 2022.
Man, she really is in everything.
She is. Yeah.
I want to mention real quick, because you mentioned John Waters' Pecker.
I love Pecker.
We know, David.
Do not fucking clip that.
Don't point at me. I'm not the one who might do it. It would be somebody else who should definitely clip it.
No, they should not.
But no, I first saw that movie I was in high school. What year did that come out? I forget.
98.
98. So yeah, I was in middle school maybe, and I was at a sleepover kind of thing, and one kid wanted to rent it because he thought it was like a dirty movie of some sort.
Yeah.
And he convinced his mom to let him rent it. And I had seen Serial Mom and maybe one or two
Sesame
other.
Demented.
Was that before that? I thought that was after.
Sesame Demented is 2001.
So yes, so that was after. But I'd definitely seen Serial Mom and maybe one other one. So I kind of knew what we were getting, and they were all just like, "What is this? What the fuck is this?" It was very funny.
I bet.
It's my favorite memory of that. I mean, I like that movie fine. I think it's pretty damn good. But man, that memory of them just like, what the hell?
You want to know one of the Waters movies that I came late to that I really freaking love now is A Dirty Shame. A Dirty Shame's hilarious.
I think that one got unfairly maligned when it first came out. I think mainly because he cast Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. I think that was definitely a curveball on that one.
Oh, I thought Dirty Shame was good.
He's so good in it too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Dirty Shame's so much fun. So what was your first time watching Captain Ron, sir?
Many unknowable Sunday or Saturday afternoons on HBO.
Okay.
I was always surprised because there's brief nudity in it.
There is.
And I remember as a kid being like, they're showing this at right now? Okay. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
So, but I remember catching it on there in bits and pieces. And then maybe in my late teens, I want to say you know what? No, I watched it on demand because on demand was a new thing when I was 16 and 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, on demand, like HBO just had the list of movies.
Yeah.
And it was for a very long time, it was the same 40 films.
Yeah.
And that's how I first watched Captain Ron from beginning to end.
Okay.
And it was I mean, I just thought it was really funny. I like Kurt Russell a lot. Obviously, I think if you don't like Kurt Russell, it's kind of weird. It's like a weird thing to say about yourself. It's like, and I don't like Kurt Russell. It's like, okay, well, did you drive yourself here? Or, but I remember thinking it was very, very funny. I remember as a kid being shocked because I was very young that Martin Short was in it.
Yeah.
Because I knew him from Clifford and he was like getting busy in a shower with a lady. And I just, because I was so young, I didn't quite understand that, like, you know, you could do both, I guess.
No, that's
I was just kind of like, what? So, but I always liked it. I thought Captain Ron was always very, very, the character was very, very funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite gags is right at the beginning when they think he's dead.
Mm-hmm. The eye patch.
Yeah, because he put the eye patch over his good eye to keep the sun out. So yeah, I've always enjoyed Captain Ron quite a bit.
Yeah, this was one that came into my life because I think it was my dad's birthday, because that makes sense as to, I think it was my dad's birthday and my grandparents were visiting and we had just gotten a DVD player. Like this was like first time getting a DVD player. We had rented like Steel Magnolias, Along Came a Spider from the library. So like the only movies we owned, I think so far, were Under the Tuscan Sun, Spider-Man, because that was mine. And I can't remember what else. There was a couple others. But my grandparents had gotten my dad some DVDs that they'd found, which included The Extreme Adventures of Super Dave.
All right. I like that movie.
I love that movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I just got it from Kino recently. And the other one was Aspen Extreme.
Okay.
And Captain Ron was the third one. And I can't remember if my parents had seen Captain Ron. I knew my grandparents had because that's why they got it for dad.
Right.
But like they started like talking about it and like talking about scenes, and it was just like, this sounds hilarious. And I think that night we put it on. And like within the first like 10 minutes, I was hooked. And this was one that like played our household for years and years to come.
Weren't you an Overboard heavy household?
Yes, we were.
There you go.
We were a very heavy Overboard household.
So there you go. I mean, it just they aren't really, but they kind of
put Kurt Russell on a boat. See what happens.
Yeah. See what happens.
Well, they're Poseidon, so never mind.
Yeah, that went downhill quick. Jesus.
But no, it was one that played all the time, like at our house. And it was a movie that, like, again, not a lot of people knew. Like, even when I would bring it up, like, nobody really else had seen it. So it was kind of one of those things when I knew that you had liked it, I was just like, oh, shit. Yeah, you are my friend.
Talk about things turning bad for me.
I know, right? So getting into Captain Ron, we start with Martin Harvey, who is going to his job as an office worker in Chicago. And I love this whole opening sequence because we got a really cool little music theme that goes through as they're going through the city. We also watch as Martin arrives at the building and a window has popped out of the building and Final Destination onto the street below.
Yeah. There's a lot of like of broad humor right at the
very beginning
of the film.
Yeah, because he's even trying to get his coffee and like he can't like he's like reaching under this table to get it, runs into this woman.
My favorite is the elevator.
The elevator.
Because they all cram in there and then a bike messenger crams this fellow with his bike
holding it up.
But then somebody is talking to Martin Short's character, says his name, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're so-and-so, package for you."
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about that is not just that he signs for it and he gets it from him, but then when everybody has to get off to let some people off on the elevator going up.
Yeah.
The bike messenger gets back on the elevator. He's just going to go up. He delivered his thing. You'd think he'd want one
probably
going down.
Take the stairs down.
Ooh, well, it didn't look like a BMX bike, but I wasn't looking that close,
Hey.
Extreme.
But yeah, he gets this letter from the carrier, and the letter basically states that his uncle has passed, and his uncle or grandfather, I can't remember. Uncle, yeah, his uncle has passed, and he has left him this boat there's a 60-foot yacht once owned by Clark Gable.
And his uncle had like disappeared in the 70s.
Yeah.
So they'd never heard from him.
So he gets home and we meet his wife, who is Catherine, and she is, I'm guessing, an architect of some kind. She has the schematics of the building.
Yeah, she's like working on plans, so probably an architect.
Yeah, and Martin immediately goes up to the attic. He's looking for this picture, and she goes up with him, and he finds the picture of him, which a hilarious Photoshop of him on this boat.
Oh, yeah. I do want to mention real quick about architects in movies.
Yeah.
I feel like architect is, or at least for a very long time, was the go-to. You work in an office, and I don't know what people in offices do.
Or you work at home, and that's why you can be at home in your office.
Well, if they're like a drafting architect, it would depend. But I've just noticed that a lot. It's like they'll have somebody be in an office and they're almost always, especially from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, they're almost always architects.
Yeah.
Like it's never like an executive assistant or a secretary or a file clerk. It's always, it's never like a senior vice president of sales. It's always architect.
Yeah. It is. No, I mean, architect was a trope for a while. I mean, it was especially in kids' movies. Like a lot of parents were architects. And I mean, the biggest one that I always think of is Ben Hanscom in It.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that might also have something to do with kids understanding vaguely what an architect is.
That's fair.
As opposed to a VP of international Northeastern sales.
That is true. This is very true. So Martin also has 2 kids. He's got a 16-year-old daughter named Carolyn and an 11-year-old son named Ben. When he comes home, his wife's on the phone, like talking to a client, and he's like, coming behind her and giving her kisses and everything, and like kind of putting the moves on her a little bit. Then ventures up to the attic to find this picture of this boat.
Yep, and she goes up there with him. He says, like, you remember my uncle I told you about who like was weird? He disappeared all those years ago.
Yeah.
And she immediately goes into this whole like, oh God, let me guess he's coming to visit because I really don't have
The
time for this. And he's like, no, he's not visiting. And she's like, great. And he's like, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. He left me something.
So he shows her the picture of the boat. Meanwhile, Ben comes home from school downstairs and he makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some milk, spills the milk all over his mom's schematics.
But for the record, the schematics are on the kitchen table,
They
like
are.
covering the whole thing.
Yeah.
And when they come back down, there's that great line where she just says, "Who was eating on the kitchen table?"
Yes.
It's a great moment.
Well, and I love it too because when they're up in the attic, it's just the two of them.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben's at the bottom and he hears the thing about the boat. He's like, "We're getting a boat." And she goes, "Ben, what have I told you about eavesdropping?" Well, yeah, but we're getting a boat, right? And then goes downstairs and calls a friend.
Dude, we're getting a boat. Yeah, but of course he's mentioned to her that according to 3 different places he called,
Yeah.
the boat could easily be worth $250,000.
Yes.
And she's thrilled because she's like, we could pay off the credit cards. We could get rid of the second mortgage. We could do all these different things.
Yeah.
It would really be a wonderful fresh start for us. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, but wouldn't it be an adventure to go get it?
Yep.
Because of the place. And she's like, don't they have like boat towing services? Couldn't we just have it towed?
Pomme de terre, aka Saint Potato.
Oh yeah, she's like, that's Saint Potato.
Yeah, Saint Potato is where the boat is currently housed in Puerto Rico. So they have to go to Puerto Rico and they have to sail it to Miami to the broker to sell it.
Right.
The broker played by the great Paul Anka, by the way.
Yeah. It is a fun role too, because after they get to the boat, it's all beat up.
Oh yeah.
And she mentions like, we don't know anything about sailing. He's like, there are tons of captains all around. You
Yeah.
just hire one.
Well, and the reason that they decide, because originally she's against it. She doesn't want to go on the trip. But the one thing that pushes it is Carolyn comes home with news because we see her in the car with her boyfriend and she's like, I'm going to go tell them. I'm so excited. Goes in and tells them that she's engaged. And again, she is 16 years old.
Yeah. And the guy is a real winner.
That's a real winner.
Yeah.
So they immediately cut from her engagement to them going to pick up the boat.
Yes. And as he's looking at the boat, he calls Anka's character.
Yeah.
And he tells him like, what if it's not in very good shape?
Yes.
And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, he doesn't
It's
know.
just rough.
It's just rough, whatever. And the guy,
Well, because Anka says, I hear the boat hasn't been surveyed since 1967.
yeah.
So have you seen it? How's the condition?
Yeah. And so after he tells him all that, he literally throws the file
Into
the
the
trash
trash.
because he's assuming it's not going to be worth much anymore.
Yeah, and tells the secretary that they had this really good captain that was going to be taking it. And he's like, I've changed my mind. Give it to somebody lesser.
Somebody local.
Just
Give it to some local.
Yeah,
Because
some
I guess they
local.
were going to fly somebody there.
Yeah. So in enters the film Captain Ron, played by the great Kurt Russell, who drives up in a beat-up yellow car that is missing a headlight right where his eye is also missing, his glass
That's
eye.
funny.
Happens on this other car, too, when he gets the Plymouth at the end in Cuba. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, both cars are missing their left headlight.
That's great.
So Ron pulls up to the ship and he parks his car, but we also watch him get onto the boat as the car rolls right into the bay.
And no one reacts to it. Not him, not anybody on the boat. He just gets out, walks up, and it just slowly just goes right off into the bay.
Yep.
And he starts introducing himself. He meets Martin Short. He then assumes that
Carolyn.
that his daughter is his wife. He's like, oh wow, she must
keep you warm at night.
keeps you in shape, huh?
So he introduces to the rest of the family, and immediately Ben, his son, notices the eye patch and asks him, how did he lose an eye? Ron playing it off is just like, Shark attack, swab.
Yeah, off the coast of Australia. Yeah, we hit a reef.
When I was captaining the USS Saratoga. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. Oh my God. But he says, yeah, we hit a reef. And she was like, the Great Barrier Reef. He's like, you've heard of it. And so she's like, did it sink? He was like, did you ever have a boat sink? Or did your boat sink? He was like, oh, no. My client's boat sank.
Yeah.
That was so good too.
So good.
He's so deeply questionable in every aspect.
A one-eyed Navy veteran who claims to have piloted the USS Saratoga, and then from there it just gets crazier and crazier because they need to go check the engine. So they go downstairs. They're putting oil into the engine because he tells them they have to do it every morning to make sure that it doesn't burn the bearings out. And originally he's going to give the job to Ben, and he's like, no, it's actually a serious job. So then Ben's ordered to take out trash, and this starts the relationship with him and Ron that I love because he's like, go, why don't you go do the trash? And he's like, and he tells him, hey, this is how boats work. You do this job, you get another job, you get another job.
You get upgraded from swab to hand
to mate.
Or mate. Yeah. To mate. And the kid seems to respond to that okay.
He does. I love Ben and his relationship in this movie. My sister, by the way, said that I was Ben. Anytime we watch this, she's just like, Ben acts a lot like you.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Especially after Ben got a couple in him. Very like you.
Well, the one scene that she always pointed out is when Martin Short sets the boat on fire. She said that was very me.
I could see that. I could see that very clearly.
Yeah. So they get the engine up and running, and that's when Ron goes out. He's like, they're like, are we ready to set sail? And they're like, oh no, you got to do some things. Then Ron realizes that the car, which is the car he borrowed from his friend, is no longer parked there anymore.
Nope.
And he looks over and sees the bubbles coming up to where the car went in the water, and also 3 locals looking down off the dock at it. And right as this is happening, he also sees his buddy arriving to collect the car. So he's like, hey, why don't we go ahead? We'll
best thing we can do is just start her up and go. Get out there. Yeah.
So he unties everything. The boat starts underway. The guy in the car grabs a rifle and starts shooting at them.
Man. If only that were the only time.
Yeah, for real though. So he refers to Martin as boss, by the way. So he's calling boss, calls Martin boss, calls not Carolyn, the wife. Is it Catherine? Who is it? Yeah, Catherine's the wife. So calls her Kitty. So they start sailing, and he goes, well, we don't have supplies. I will pick him up in St. Heg. It's just about 30 miles down the way.
Yeah, he wants to get the hell out of there right then and there. And I love how he just explains it. I was like, no. The best thing for it is just to get it out on the water.
So they're sailing on the open water. He has Martin take the reins of the boat, and that's when he's just like, I'm going to go downstairs and get some shut-eye.
In the middle of the day.
Middle of the ocean, they're going through. So he and his family are just cruising on the boat, and they eventually get to St. Heg, but they start running into a lot of ships that are honking at them.
Yeah.
And this is your favorite scene because he's just like, can somebody go downstairs and wake up Captain Ron? And the daughter comes up and she's like, I think there's something wrong with that captain guy. What is it? I think he's dead.
Yeah. And they go down and look at him, and he is laying there, eye open.
Yes.
Staring straight up.
Eye open and mouth open. Like,
Yeah, just not moving at all. But luckily he wakes up, and it turns out he had put his eye patch on his good eye to keep the sun out.
Yeah.
And but there's a great part where he's like, well, what happened? But I thought you lost your eye. He's like, glass eye, swab.
Yeah.
And he puts it back on. That's one that I always remembered forever because I thought it was so funny. Oh, I just switched the patch to keep the sun out.
So he gets up to the reins of the boat, starts taking the wheel, speeds up, and they're going into this little yacht club that is a very tight entry for these ships, by the way.
Yes.
So people are having music. People are having drinks. They're enjoying the music, and this boat is just creeping closer and closer and quicker.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's like, "Okay, throw down the not the rudders, but
the anchor.
No, the rubber things. I can't think. He even asked because Martin Short's like, what is it? The things that block the boat, the tires that block the side. So when they swing,
the bumpers.
We'll call them that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So he puts the bumpers down, and they literally maneuver this boat to completely position right along the side, perfectly.
Yeah, he nails it.
Because everybody on at this yacht club is fearing, like they're running. They're like, "Oh my god, he's gonna hit us!" and then swings it. And I love it. He steps off the boat, goes to the bartender. He's like, give me a margarita. And then walks towards the band, and everybody starts back up.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, Ron is such a good example of just this weird drifter type guy.
Yeah.
Who clearly does have skills. It's just a matter of, when he's sober enough.
When he's sober enough. Yeah. Well, because I love the line when they're down below. He's like, boats like their oil, like just like captains like their rum. They do like the rum. Why is that, Captain Ron? So they party at St. Hague. They're walking around the town for a little bit, and it gets to be night, and we see that Captain Ron and the kids are playing Monopoly, except the daughter waits for Martin and his wife to go down because they're going to christen the ship properly.
Oh, yeah. Break a bottle inside.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's left up with Ben playing Monopoly because Carolyn sneaks off the ship to go for a walk.
Yeah, walk.
Yeah.
To go party.
Yeah. So that's when Ron, realizing that the parents are gone, he tells them that because originally he wanted to play poker, and she's like, oh, why don't we stick to Monopoly? So then once they get some money because Carolyn pays both of them to not say anything to their parents, he's just like, well, now you got something. Let's make this interesting. So they wager on Monopoly.
Well, of course, got to keep it interesting.
And my favorite thing is he goes to move Captain Ron's beer, Ben does, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just moving. He's like, damn right you were. You want your own beer, or you want your beer, get your own.
Oh, yeah. He was like, I wasn't going to drink. He's like, damn right. You want to drink, get your own beer. Yeah. He's like,
So he gets a beer.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Martin and Catherine are down below in their bunk, and that's when he gets the idea that they're going to have sex, and in order for them to camouflage, they're going to have sex in the shower by turning the water on, so that way there's no noise. So they get into the shower, they turn the water on, everything's going fine until it turns out that they clog the drain.
Yeah, a freaking washcloth goes into the drain.
Gets sucked down.
Yeah.
So, but also before that happened, there was a mop handle against the door that completely got knocked aside.
Well, there was a mop inside.
Yeah,
he takes it out, and then it falls across and locks them into this little shower.
And so the water starts filling up in this thing, and they're like panicking because not only are they trying to turn the water off, the knob comes off. The water fills up so quickly.
Yeah, they're about almost chest high.
Yeah. So upstairs, Captain Ron's kicking Ben's ass at Monopoly because one of my favorite lines is he's like, such and such, that'll be 36 cents. Well, it's half the money I have. Shit happens. Cough it up.
Yeah, shit happens. Cough it up. Hey, that's a valuable life lesson.
So he tells Ben that he's going to go downstairs to tell him that they're going to run out the water if they keep going at this rate. Oh, and by the way, you owe me $2.50 for the beer.
Yeah, that killed me too. You owe me $2.50 for the beer.
And he's taking a sip as it happens, and he just, like, his eyes get wide. So as soon as he gets downstairs, the tank runs dry on the water. So it's trapped in the bathroom. And he's like, oh, boss, I was going to tell you, like, long showers can drain the pump. By the way, did you know there's a mop handle in front of the door? Oh, thank you, Captain Ron. Yeah, I'll just get that. Opens it, and they just fall out.
Yeah. It's very, very funny.
So that is the first night on board.
Of course.
So by the next day, Martin's writing in his ship log, and he calls Captain Ron a moron. By the way, he's like Captain. I think he calls him Captain Moron. Yeah.
Which I wondered if he was trying to be clever like Captain Morgan, or if he was just being a jerk. Either way, they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all good answers.
So they're sailing out the next morning, and this is when Ron kind of gives them the go down of the ship. They start running through the things, and Martin is kind of falling behind the rest of the family. Everybody else is kind of getting all the ship lingo, and he's really not.
Yeah, he's falling behind very quickly.
Yeah.
In part because he kind of is resenting Captain Ron as time goes on.
And Ron's sweeping into his family. Like because that's one of my favorite things is the one shot where he's Kitty steering the boat, and he's got his arms around her.
Yeah, but he's like, you feel that? You feel that? She goes, yeah. He's like, yeah, if it's pulling like that means you're handling it well.
So the next day they decide that they're going to stop off in the Caribbean, but they also learn that Captain Ron doesn't navigate.
No.
He just kind of points the ship, and if they get lost, well, we just stop and ask for directions.
Yeah, that's I mean, I guess when you're in the Caribbean, like maybe.
Yeah.
There are a lot of islands, I guess.
Well, and I love it too because he tells them that he's like, well, you heard of St. Croix, right? Well, yeah. Well, we're going to go to the island just right to the next of it. What's that? Ted's.
Yeah, Ted's. I love it's just Ted's.
Ted's? So they end up going to the wrong island.
Of course.
And Ron, to make it up for them, decides to buy them lunch at this like burger joint in the middle of this island.
It's just an island that has like one little cantina. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because they're kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite confusions. Jokes. Yeah, because as Martin Short is going to take a walk because he's like, well, let's make the best of it. Let's explore the island. They're like,
I just ordered my cheese fries.
Yeah. Just stay on Ron says, just stay on the trail because there are gorillas in the jungle.
Yeah.
And he's just like, son, there are no gorillas in the jungle. Gorillas live in equator
of Africa or something.
Well, yeah, it's like equatorial Africa.
Yeah.
He's like, so there are no gorillas here.
Yeah. And he's like, all right.
you're the
So
best.
Martin Short goes off walking on the pass. Meanwhile, Captain Ron starts putting the moves on Catherine because the song starts playing. They start dancing together. He tries to initially get Carolyn to dance. And then so Catherine and him share a dance. Meanwhile, Martin's walking through the path. He's also taunting Captain Ron, mimicking him, and then goes off the path and runs into some gorillas.
Yeah. The other kind.
The other kind.
Which I love that reveal.
Yes.
So what he runs into are gorillas.
Yes.
Fighters, soldiers.
Led by General Armando.
Yeah.
So
and his response to that when they're on the boat.
Oh God, I love it.
He's just like, he said gorillas, not gorillas.
Well, and I love it because him and Kitty they're standing down like the door thing or whatnot, and he's just like, he did it on purpose. So like he's trying to, undermine me, and he's like, he did. I can see it in his eyes. Excuse me, his eye.
No, when he gets angry about Captain Ron, he's so funny.
Yeah. So he goes downstairs to get a screwdriver, and that's when he sees that they're playing Monopoly downstairs. But he also sees that Ben is polishing off some clips for some guns.
No, he's cleaning the guns themselves.
Yeah, cleaning the guns themselves.
With
yeah.
WD-40, which you should not really use on a firearm. But he's got a couple of pistols and
2 automatics and a MAC-10.
A MAC-10 submachine gun.
Did you hear, by the way, what he called it when he goes upstairs and dumps them?
I forget.
Automatic weapons.
Oh, yeah. He just says automatic weapons. Yeah. Well, one of them was.
One of them was, yeah. But yeah, so he goes, what are those? And they're like, oh, it's Monopoly. He's like, no, those. Yeah, 2 automatics and a MAC-10. Yeah, I thought we need them. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, for the Pirates of the Caribbean. And he's like,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Spent a lot of time at Disneyland.
Yeah, I've been to Dolly World.
Yeah, I've been to Dolly World. I've been to whatever. But he's like, yeah, you just want to have something in case you run into pirates.
And so Martin's like, we're not having guns on this boat. Picks them. Well, I love it because he goes to leave after like saying that, and then comes back and picks them up like this, like scoops them up, and then carries them out.
Because he set them down to make a point.
Yeah.
And then walks out and then comes back and scoops them all up.
Goes back upstairs, goes to the side of the boat, jumps him over, and we hear the bubbles going, and Catherine goes, what were that? And he's like, you're not going to believe this. Automatic weapons for, get this, pirates. And that's when he's just like, wait a minute. Captain Ron, how did you get those guns? Oh, well, that's the best part. You see, the revolutionaries, they said they needed a ride, and we're not having them on this boat. Oh, that's fine. Well, just give me back the guns. And so Martin goes over to the side of the boat, looks down, cut to the gorillas.
All the gorillas are
on the boat.
And they're all in their fatigues with their guns and their knives, but they're very polite.
Very polite.
Like extreme. They're good guests.
Yeah. So that is when he decides that they are going to give them a lift because they don't have a choice to, and they're going to, where is it? San Juan. San Juan. Yeah, they're going to San Juan. So they are deciding to sail to San Juan. Everything's going to be fine. They're going to arrive on this carnival night, except they run right into a storm.
Oh wait, no. I think San Juan was later. I think were they trying to go to Rio?
Well, because San Juan's where they get busted, right?
Yeah, San Juan's in Puerto Rico. Weren't they trying to go to Brazil first?
I can't remember because I know they have the revolutionaries on the boat for a night, and then they run into the storm, and then the storm is what initially takes them to the island.
Then they may have been trying to go to San Juan.
Yeah,
but anyway.
So yeah, they go in and they run into a storm, and that is when we have one of my favorite scenes because everybody is up top after because they're all below because the boat's rocking back and
Don't
forth.
Don't worry, there's no way this could sink. And he comes out, he's like, y'all might want to be up top in case this all breaks apart. And they were already tying on their life vests.
Well, and I love it because Ben's like, Mom, my glass is broke. And she's like, we'll fix it. We can see the island. Hang on to something. Hang on. Because he goes to the side.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, while this is all going on, Martin is trying to give Captain Ron the benefit of the doubt because like they're in a storm. They're in a mess at this point. And he's just like, all right, I know we're having some rough waters, but Captain Ron says he knows where we are. Now, why do you know this, Captain Ron? And he's like, well, we have our map. Map flies away.
Yeah.
They take the map out. All right. Well, luckily, all Columbus had to discover America was his trusty compass. Touches the compass goes flying.
Flies off. Oh, my God. It's so funny.
And that's when Ron is just like, yeah, he's like, I think everything's going to be okay. All right, he thinks everything's going to be. Why is that? When I filled up the boat, I put in just enough gas for us to get to San Juan. And now we are out of gas.
I love this movie.
And Martin immediately jumps on him and he's just like, I've seen this before. Put something sharp or put something hard into his mouth or whatever. Because he's attacking him. And then slowly but surely they see the lights of the island and they arrive.
Yes. Man, I love that. I'm a sucker for boat movies. And I love a good storm in a boat.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Well, and I love it too because I think we skipped over one thing because there's one point where we did because at one point the Ben is playing with the general, and the general lands on one of his things, and he's like, "All right, that'll be 60 American dollars." And the interpreter is like, "The general says that's all the money he has," and he goes, "Tell the general shit happens. Cough it up." I love that scene.
Such a good movie.
So, they get to San Juan. There's a carnival going on, and in the riffraff, the kids get lost. Captain Ron gets separated. So Catherine and Martin are trying to find the kids. They decide to go to the police station, and smash cut to they're in jail because Martin mentioned that they brought revolutionaries onto the island.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they're told, like, okay, we're going to let you out, but you have to leave the island.
You're being expelled from the island. When? Now.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, I love that.
So before all that happened, though, Ron lost his eye because Ben has his glasses broken, so he has a little eye pass peach on his glasses, and Martin does not like that.
No.
So he has him take the glasses off, and even Captain Ron's like, oh yeah, I don't want to draw attention to myself, so takes off the eye patch, and the eye is just wandering around.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because he said before that the eye was not custom made for him. He wanted it in a game, and that you have to get those custom made. Eye ends up popping out in the riffraff while they're trying to look for him. So they end up getting back to the boat and seeing that the party has been moved to the boat now.
Yes.
Oh,
damn
shit.
right.
I forgot something.
What's that?
We forgot about the scene where he almost catches the boat on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So they had docked previously, and because the revolutionaries get pissed because they think they've been kidnapped. I forgot about that. Yeah. So
A lot happens.
A lot does happen.
Especially with the gorillas.
Yeah. So the gorillas end up getting pissed at one point because they get to a wrong island again. And while they're at this island, Ron finds out where they are. It's not gonna be a big deal. There's this beautiful woman out from the ship in the water, and Martin Short thinks that she's waving to him.
Yes.
And Captain Ron knows her name.
yeah. He's like, I think she's waving to me. He's like, no. And she's like, hey, I forgot her name, but
I can't remember.
Yells her name. Hey, you waving at me or him?
You. He's like, yeah, see? Jumps off the boat, swims to him. So then Martin gets the idea to get the flare gun, and he's going to shoot Captain Ron with the flare gun, apparently.
Well, he's thinking about it. No.
And then Ben comes up, startles him, and he fires right through the porthole into the ship. It goes into the toilet. He ends up trying to get the flare out and blinded in the process. So, he can't see.
So now he's blind for a day.
Yeah.
He went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, your vision should return tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I love that because he's like, I can still see a little bit, and he's like hitting into branches with his.
So while this is all going on, they go on a walk on the beach, and she's like, hey, I found something I want to show you. She takes him back to the room, and he still can't see very well. So she has him feel around the initials, and she sees that Clark Gable and Carol Lombard have their initials carved in the boat, proving that it was Clark Gable's boat.
Which could make it very valuable.
Very valuable.
And also how romantic.
Yes. Well, and also because it leads to them having sex again, and you hear the daughter going, hey, who's rocking the boat down there? So then back to San Juan. So yeah, they've been arrested. They get back to the boat, and we find out that Captain Ron has moved the party to the boat because he didn't want the kids wandering around the island without their parents.
It'd be dangerous.
So they run into Carolyn first, and she's schmoozing with this one guy, and she tells him that she got a tattoo recently, and that
he gave it to her.
Yeah, that he gave it to her, and it's in a private spot, and they start freaking out. Well, then the music is stopped at this point because they've arrived, and Ben comes in with a tattooed eagle on his chest. And he's like, hey, who stopped the music?
And he's still got the eye patch, glasses, and a beer.
Yes, shirtless with a tattoo, a beer, and he has the eye patch. So he runs off, goes into the boat. Martin chases after him, gets into the boat, trips over some whiskey bottles, and that's when we see that Captain Ron is on the boat with the chick that he was in the water with earlier. They were playing another strip game, I think, or something like that.
Like, well, we ran out of money.
Yeah, so we had to start stripping off clothes. One thing leads to another, and he ends up firing Captain Ron because he's had it at this point. Like, his kids are tattooed, and you find out that Ben's tattoo is fake. It's not a big deal. But yeah, they end up leaving. But what you find out is in the game of Monopoly, he's lost $500 that they owe to this gangster on the island. It's so fucking crazy. Trying to explain this movie is crazy. So yeah, they are owing money to this gangster, and he's like, no, I'm not paying. Like, we're leaving. And he's like, I don't know about that, boss. And he's like, no, you're fired. We're leaving, and they leave. So they are on the water. They're sailing out, and then the guy comes behind on his ship, and he's got a machine gun turret. And next, they are left without their ship, floating in the water on a raft.
Yeah, they've been pirated.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. So they're on the raft floating in the water. They eventually get to land, and that's when they start walking on the land, and Martin goes up to see where they are. He comes into a sign that shows them that they're in Cuba.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand until he points out, like, here, he covers part of the words, like,
Yeah.
Cuba.
Yeah.
I'm like, so? I mean, we were on an island. He's like, no.
We're in a dangerous
this is
island.
Not a good place to be without a passport, without anything.
Yeah, so he's like, get back to the boat, and they're like, well, let's see what's going on. Ben ends up seeing the ship is parked on the island, so he sees that they have the ship there, so they decide that they're going to try and steal it back, but they don't know how they're going to do it until Captain Ron shows up, baby.
In a car, ready to help them escape, and they're like, we don't want to escape. We want to get our boat back.
Yeah. So they devise a plan. So they end up getting the attention of the revolutionaries, and they're driving after them, or the gangsters are driving after them, and he's circling the block. One thing leads to another. He tells Martin to get out of the car and go and run and start the ship. So Martin gets on board the ship. He's trying to start it secretly, and the engine's not turning over. Meanwhile, Ron's with his family, and the family starts talking shit about Martin because they're just like, oh, Captain Ron, you're the coolest. Dad always tries to do this, but he just always fails. And Ron, hearing this, decides that he's going to try and make them realize how great of a hero Martin is. So he gets the family back around. They end up having the car crash into the truck that's chasing them. They get back onto the boat, and Ron ends up tripping while going into the boat.
Breaks his leg.
So we think. So Martin comes up and he's like, hey, we got to get out of here. He's like, my leg's busted, so you got to be the one to do this. So the whole family comes together and releasing the ship and getting it back on the water.
They have to put up the sails, right? Yeah, because there's no engine.
Yeah, the engine burned out.
So they have to figure out how to sail.
Yeah.
Because they even mentioned early on, like, well, it has an engine. So until we figure out how to sail.
Well, because they're on the water and the engine burns out.
Right.
So that's when they're like, we have to sail. And so they get the sails up and everything. And one of my favorite parts is they get everything running. And then that's when they realize that the pirates are coming up right behind them again. And this time they have the machine gun ready to fire.
Yes.
So
and as a last ditch effort, the mother gets really angry and points the flare gun at them.
Yes. But before that, we've got Ron below who's telling they're telling the pirates are coming and they're like stuck in the water now. So he's like, you got to get the sails up. And he's like, that's the spirit, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna fucking die.
Oh, it's so good. This movie's fun.
So he gets on the radio, starts calling the Coast Guard, and they start opening fire on the ship, and Ron's trying to reason with the Coast Guard. These people are taxpayers. So they start reasoning with them. Meanwhile, they start firing on them, and Catherine gets pissed, and she goes, well, I'm gonna take this flare gun. You set our boat on fire, we could set their boat on fire. So she fires the flare, and it lands right around them, except there's a huge explosion right in front of their ship, revealing that it's the Coast Guard that has
just
showed
behind
up.
them, which suggests that they finally got out of Cuban waters.
Yeah. So the Coast Guard comes up and saves the day. They are all good to go, and that's when they get their sails up, and the family is all together because of Captain Ron.
Well, and then Ron is just stands up to like congratulate them, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a really fast healer."
Yeah. So they make it to Miami, and that's when they are going to part ways with Captain Ron. So he promotes Ben from swab to mate, which is a really cute scene.
Yeah.
And then my favorite thing about it is right as he came into our life, he vanished.
Yeah, a bus passes in front of him and he's not there anymore.
So they're sailing into the destination for the broker, and that's when Paul Anka is on the dock. He's seeing the ship coming in. And that's when Catherine comes in and she's like, as I see it, we got two options. We could take this boat to Miami or we could not. Basically suggesting that they're going to take the yacht and sail now.
Yeah.
So they end up turning the boat around, sailing off. Paul Anka's like, hey, I got your contract. Like, where are you going? Family's coming together and they're sailing out into open water again. And you could see like they're all happy. And I love it because Martin Short's like, she's like, well, where are we going? And he's like, I don't know. But, if we get lost, we could just stop off and ask for directions as Captain Ron.
Yeah.
And right as they're passing this out to sea, a young couple's on this boat, and they're like, oh, honey, you think that's going to be us someday? And Captain Ron comes off the top.
But it's better too. He's dressed completely. He's got a ponytail.
No eye patch.
He's got a ponytail. He's got a sports jacket on.
Very yuppie.
It makes you wonder what Captain Ron is something. Something is up. Yeah.
So that's when he also tells them, we get the ship on the water. It's the best way to test it. And they sail off again. My favorite is the final shot where the guy's like, well, there's a lot of boats in the way. He's like, oh, just get in the way. They'll get out of the way. They're running right towards a fucking tanker.
Yeah.
A ship, like this little tiny speedboat in this giant tanker. And that is 1992's Captain Ron.
And I want to say, without a doubt, the family that sailed off, dead at sea.
Dead.
Like 100% dead at sea.
Dead at sea. I mean, and there's a lot of comedy in this that we missed in discussing. There's so much that happens.
There's so much stuff. It gets so wacky and fun.
Oh, my favorite is the when they're doing the sander, and the sander, he plugs it in and just takes off and knocks Martin Short into the water. And so then he comes to the life preserve, throws it in, it sinks, and then he's like, oh, okay, well, here's the ladder. Boom. Oh, you watch out for that ladder, boss.
I love this movie.
So what do you think the budget was, by the way?
14 million.
24 million.
Wow. Okay.
$24 million budget. Opening weekend, it takes in 4, which is September 20th of 1992.
Okay.
Grossing worldwide 22.
Oof.
So not great.
Not a hit.
Not great.
Not
but
a
I
hit.
bet you it probably made a killing on VHS.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Shot in San Juan, Puerto Rico and Chicago, Illinois, starting in February 16th of 91, going all the way to May. While originally sold as a Walt Disney Pictures film, there were problems with subject matter such as underage drinking, mild nudity, and language. It was then marketed and released through Disney's Touchstone Pictures division.
That was during kind of the heyday of Touchstone.
Yeah. And the script was written in mind for Chevy Chase to play Martin, Billy Crystal, Steve Martin, John Ritter, John Candy, and Richard Dreyfuss were all considered for Martin as well.
I can't imagine, like, I mean,
I can see Chevy.
Oh, I thought Chevy was considered as the dad.
Yeah. I can see.
Yeah. I was talking about the Ron, Captain Ron.
Oh, no, I got a couple Rons for you.
Oh, those were all for the dad.
Those are all for Martin.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense. I can
see Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, he'd be hilarious,
Yeah.
especially in that time period.
Steve Martin's too on the nose.
Yeah, he'd be too much.
John Ritter.
Oh, he's so good at playing neurotic, though.
Yeah, he could actually. No, he totally could.
So now Captain Moron is taking us into Cuba. You know, pretty funny.
Tom Arnold and Jeff Bridges were both considered for the role of Captain Ron. Bridges had other commitments, and Arnold passed over because he didn't have much movie acting experience at the time, and because his commitment to Roseanne, which had reoccurring role in, as he was also married to Roseanne Barr at the time.
I couldn't see Tom Arnold. I mean, it would have to be a totally different type of character, but I could totally see
Jeff
Bridges.
Bridges.
Oh, yeah. It would be like basically the same movie.
It'd be the same movie. The film's original title was Martin Harvey Takes a Cruise. The film was retitled twice before release. First, it was Don't Rock the Boat, and then it was retitled to On the Wanderer, because that's the name of the boat.
Well, Don't Rock the Boat I could have seen if it had stayed as a Disney movie.
Yeah.
That I could see that being the title.
According to John Dwyer, one of the movie's screenwriters, Martin Short was originally cast as Captain Ron, and Kurt Russell was to play the family man, but Short and Russell got drunk one night and decided to switch roles. This has been confirmed multiple times.
That blows my mind. That doesn't
know.
make any sense to me.
But no, that was originally how it was. Short was going to be Captain Ron, and Russell was going to be the family man.
Wow, that blows my. I can't even wrap my mind around a concept like that at all.
When Kurt Russell was cast, John Carpenter was nearly called to direct. Carpenter admits that he would have said yes, but mostly for the excuse to shoot in the Caribbean.
No, I mean, it's like I always say about, like, you know, when people say, why were shark movies so popular? They must have whatever. It's like,
take a vacation.
Getting people to be like, look, we're going to Hawaii, or we're going to the Bahamas, or we're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to, like, be in beautiful places. Because if you notice, the majority of follow-up shark movies after the original Jaws movies were almost all in warm water. They were almost all in, like, Florida, the Caribbean, or Hawaii, sometimes Southern California or Mexico, but they almost never were like, yep, this is another one off the coast of Jersey.
Yeah. Much of Captain Ron's personal wardrobe came from Kurt Russell's closet. Many of Ron's mannerisms, wearing the Speedo, the pirate-like raspy voice, were also suggested by Russell. His only objection was his encouragement of underage drinking, but he was persuaded when told it would fit the character.
I mean, I thought it did too.
Yeah, I did too.
Plus, if that kid had gotten, like, really wasted and puked a bunch, learning lesson.
There is that. Captain Ron's glass eye is a different color than his right eye. Kurt Russell's eyes are famously blue in real life. The Wanderer is actually a Formosa 51 catch. 3 separate boats were reported to have been used in the filming of this movie. When Captain Ron introduces himself to the Harveys, he says his full name is Ron Rico. Ron Rico is a brand of rum.
That's funny.
Yeah. Both of the cars for Captain Ron drives in the movie are missing a headlight on the same side as his missing eye. At one point during regarding the debate over the existence of Pirates of the Caribbean, Martin says, "Been to Disney World one too many times, have we, Captain Ron?" Ron states, I don't believe I've ever been to Disney World. Kurt Russell, of course, was in many Disney movies as a kid.
And that is funny because initially it was a Disney movie as well.
Rick Moranis was asked to play Martin Harvey, but passed as he had too many other commitments and was raising his children as a single father following his wife's then recent death from cancer. His SCTV colleague, Martin Short, got the role instead.
Rick Moranis would have been interesting.
I could have seen it. When the Harveys are coming into the dock at the end, one of the boats being stacked is My Way. My Way was one of Paul Anka's biggest hits, sung by Frank Sinatra, amongst others. Paul Anka plays the boat dealer.
Oh, okay.
The name of the pirate's boat, Albondiga, means meatball in Spanish. And on the DVD commentary for Big Trouble in Little China, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell repeatedly joke about and mock this film amid gales of laughter. So I've got to listen to that.
Yeah, I would be curious about that one.
So what are your final thoughts on 1992's Captain Ron?
You know, I was going to say stream it, but I think that one thing Captain Ron really has going for it, other than a really good cast and being funny and being kind of way out there, is it's very indicative of the 90s without being full of high top sneakers and flat top haircuts and you know, Vanilla Ice shit. It still manages to be super fun, 90s fun. It really kind of establishes the kind of like weird mentality that was kind of going on with 90s movies. So I think it's a rent it. I think it's worth $4.99, $3.99 just to see it once if you never have and see if it's the kind of movie you really love. Yeah.
No, it's a rent it for me as well. I think it's one of Kurt Russell's most underrated roles. I think he is built for it.
Oh, he's having a blast the whole time. Yeah.
And the movie is a good family coming together, like on a journey, and I mean chaotic events out the ass that like you're faced against, and it's just really cute to see them come together and Ron be the glue that puts them all together.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. So rent it as well. We also end the show with a couple of recommendations. The first one I have this week is 1988's The Great Outdoors, currently on AMC Plus and Netflix. A Chicago man and his family go camping with his obnoxious brother-in-law. This is John Candy and Dan Aykroyd at their height.
Film.
So much fun. The bald ass bear, one of my favorite jokes in that movie. Second, I'm going to go with 2006's Little Miss, currently available on Hulu and rentable through Prime and Fandango. A family loaded with quirky, colorful characters piles into an old van and road trips to California for little Olive to compete in a beauty pageant. A movie that I revisited like a couple years ago, and man, that movie still holds up.
Yeah, I've actually still never seen it.
Ever?
No.
Shit, dude, you gotta see Little Miss Sunshine.
I've said it before.
I have.
So,
what's your recommendation?
Well, I went, you know, I don't know why, but maybe I do know why, but like this movie just kept coming into my brain as I was rewatching Captain Ron.
Baby Geniuses.
Part 2. But this is 1997's McHale's Navy.
Oh, wow.
I love me some McHale's Navy.
Yes.
A retired Navy officer returns to active duty along with a group of misfit sailors to battle his former nemesis.
It's a good one.
It's really fun. It's got the beach kind of vibe, the on the ocean kind of vibe, the questionable mentality of characters kind of vibe going.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my pick. It's available to rent right now on Amazon Prime.
Did you like Down Periscope?
I love Down Periscope.
I was going to say Down Periscope's great.
It's a great film.
Do we have any emails this week?
Believe it or not. No. Yeah, we do. Let me pull up. We actually have, last I checked, we had quite a few.
Oh, shit. Oh, all right.
I want to remind you, if you want to email us, you could do so at doyouevenmovie.com. Or send us an email at doyouevenmoviepod@gmail.com. We love to hear from you over there, and whether it's a comment on something we've talked about or suggesting something, we love to hear from you at doyouevenmoviepod@gmail.com. This first one is from Kevin. He actually wrote this to me via Facebook, but I saved it. Great podcast this week. I pulled up Malibu High on Tubi. Pretty great. Have you ever watched Zombie Lake?
I've not, but I'm sure
you haven't.
I'm sure you have.
Oh, of course I have.
Yeah.
It's a really bad movie. He's right.
Yeah.
Also, do you think you two will ever review Death Wish 2?
No, I'm going to go ahead and say that right now.
Wow.
No, that's a rough one.
You don't like Death Wish 2?
Dude, Death Wish 2 is like the really, really sleazy one. If there's a Death Wish we're going to do, it's probably going to be Death Wish 3.
I mean, I love me some Death Wish 2.
Death Wish 2 is very sleazy and very unpleasant. I love the Death Wish series, but yeah, 2 is probably the meanest and grossest out of the series.
Wow.
Dude,
Dave's the meanest host on the show.
You've got to be kidding me. You know what's in Death Wish 2.
I love me some Death Wish 2. Well, this next one comes from Dave.
What?
Just mean.
I didn't say we wouldn't do Death Wish 2. I said, or I would not Death Wish series. We just wouldn't do 2.
Okay. This next one came from doyouevenmovie.com.
Awesome.
And it's from Brandon. He writes, I have a question about streaming that you two might understand better.
Okay.
How did the free streaming services get the lion's share of interest? or interesting movies.
Yeah.
I have thought about this a lot, and it's not just when they came out. They can have movies from 2022 that are interesting. Also, films that used to be a nightmare to find, can add examples later if needed. They're almost always free now.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I mean, you can take that one.
I was gonna say you probably want me to take that one.
Take that one.
Well, so it in the industry we call it AVOD, advertising video on demand, or ad driven VOD, whatever you want to call it. Really, that started with Crackle. Crackle was one of the first big ones, and Hulu.
Yeah,
Hulu was originally only about ads. And it's grown obviously with Roku channel and Tubi, Fawsome, Local Now. There is a plethora of them.
I mean, Fawsome's where I watched Lower Level.
Yeah. Fawsome takes a lot of stuff. And that's kind of my point. So when you have an advertising video on demand service like a Tubi, there's very little risk in a lot of the content you're going to license because you're splitting ad revenue. So if it doesn't make any money, nobody makes any money. If it makes a ton of money, you both make a lot of money, Tubi and the distributor. When it comes to bigger name movies, Tubi and places like that are probably paying an upfront fee as well to have it on their service. But it also makes an incredible lack of risk for smaller distributors to put these movies out. Also opens the opportunity for companies that may not actually own the rights to movies that people think are forgotten to put them on those services. Although that's been getting a little bit better at being policed over the last few years.
Would you say that it's more likely that you're going to find some of the tampered with and edited titles on like Tubi and Fawsome more so than you would like Prime and whatnot?
No,
Okay.
not Prime.
Okay.
Prime has had a horrible history of like the wrong content uploaded or unauthorized content uploaded.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead's still on there
It's
right now.
still, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I had a movie on Prime that the distributor had lost their rights, and I got it down in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's without a lawyer. I just did it myself. But so when it comes to AVOD, there's a lot less risk, and there's only benefit for the streaming service to have lots and lots of titles in its catalog. Tubi has become a little bit more picky. That's why you're finding way more stuff on Fawsome, because Fawsome is a newer company. So they're taking kind of whatever's offered to them and putting them right up there for you to stream for free. So yeah, it's really just a place where you can put a low budget movie and your risk is very low.
Yeah.
And the potential reward is very high.
Yeah.
So you dump it there and hope that people watch it, because if they watch it, you make money. And if they don't, you don't.
I mean, and you really do have a kind of a hit or miss sometimes with the quality, but it's so awesome to have these movies available as easily as they are.
Well, what happens a lot there is if you have a film that nobody really cared about for a really long time, the only master tape they may have, they don't even know which cut it is. The whole, I won't go into a huge thing, but the whole Tubi is editing the movies down is not real.
Yeah.
The distributors are doing that.
Yeah.
Tubi does not have, number one, Tubi does not have the editing staff to take care of this shit.
No.
And number two, they don't care to. They would just reject the movie. They wouldn't edit it themselves.
So do you think the distributors submitting it because it's the times we're living in are easier to get those through?
I think they're probably worried something will happen like what happened on YouTube, which is that one day a company like Crest is going to be like, an ad for my toothpaste came up right after like an anal rape scene.
I would do it.
And they're going to be like, well, we want to know what our stuff is on.
Yeah.
What our ads are on.
That
Because
makes
that's kind of
sense.
what happened on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it can get a little hairy. Places like, if I had to guess, most of the intentionally edited content you're seeing on Tubi are distributors in advance.
Yeah.
Not handing them salacious material because they don't want it to get pulled someday. They're future-proofing it by chopping it down or removing a certain amount of excessive nudity or what have you. That's just their way of future-proofing, because you have to understand that as great as Tubi and Fawsome and them all are, everything that's old is new again. And all AVOD is basically television.
Yeah.
You watch on free television, you watch something and there's commercials, like if you pull it down from your antenna. But the difference is with Tubi or whatever, it's on demand and it's anything.
Yeah.
So imagine for a second, like, would, X, Y, or Z be on broadcast TV? No.
Probably not.
You don't even have to have an account to log into Tubi to watch it. And as a further expanse into how everything that's old is new again, the big thing now is what's called FAST, which is free advertising supported television. That's basically Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto, any place where, or Samsung TV, any place where there's a TV channel just playing with ads, you get higher payouts for those ads because it's a captive audience, because it just plays.
Have you seen
and
that,
it's literally television.
Samsung will censor language, but not violence.
Oh, I believe that because they could do it with AI.
Yeah,
they can censor language with AI.
I watched Rambo Last Blood was playing on the Action Channel and totally showed the dude get his heart ripped out. But oh man, Stallone cannot say those fuck words.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing happens with broadcast. I watched on the Movies channel, which is one of the MeTV channels.
Yeah.
That's over the air.
Yeah.
I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night. I was excited for like all the ridiculous edits.
Mm-hmm.
None.
They're
it was just the swears.
Yeah,
the swears were gone, but like the guy got shot right in the head.
Yep.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay. So I hope that answers the question somewhat. It's a low risk place to put all kinds of films. And if the services are hungry for content, they'll also accept non-HD content. They'll accept 4:3 content. They'll accept stuff with really low visual quality sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's really it. It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
So you're going to get all kinds of stuff you haven't expected on there.
Makes sense.
So I hope that answers your question. That's the long of the short of it. This next one is from Phil.
Okay.
Henrique and David, I've got a couple of questions. I'm honestly curious about what your favorite media is.
Oh,
that's an interesting one.
I mean,
there's more. I was just taking a drink of water.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'm a sucker for laser discs. I love the audio range they have and their box art. Have you guys ever watched a movie on CED, aka Let's Play a Movie on a Record media? CED, that's video disc.
Video disc.
Before laser disc, there was video disc, which was basically like a vinyl record that played movies. I've bought some for like the novelty of it, but I've never watched one because I don't have a player.
Same. I own a couple laser discs, but I can't play them, so I framed them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do with the laser discs is I put them in vinyl record frames.
Well, you know, sometimes you have a good friend that lets you know that there's a Terminator 2 signed by multiple of the cast waiting for you at half price books.
Yeah. I still can't believe how cheap I got that.
I know.
But what's your favorite media?
I mean, given how crazy I was back in the days of hunting DVDs will always be supreme for me. I remember how excited I was to get my first Blu-ray player because The Crow came out on Blu-ray and my parents got it for me along with Boondock Saints and Lost Boys were like the 3 first Blu-rays I owned. But there was a time where DVD hunting and just finding movies on DVD was just an absolute blast. And I mean, I still go back to some of my old discs today, even though they do have Blu-ray releases, because it's just like I just have this nostalgia for them.
Sure. It's probably DVD for me as well.
Yeah.
That was when I was able to collect media, like really. And I like the size of the boxes. I think that it's nice how much artwork you get. But that being said, I mean, I get rid of DVDs like every day.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive collector.
Well,
but,
I mean, and VHS was definitely the start of everything for me, obviously, too, because that was like that. I remember when I got a VCR in my room, first off, had Leprechaun 2 was stuck in it. My dad got me a VCR at the flea market and then a copy of Leprechaun 2 was stuck in it.
Lucky.
I kept it, played fine, watched it many years. But no, I mean, VCRs and VHS tapes, that was the initial of me being able to get stuff into my house and watch it in my bedroom that probably my parents wouldn't have loved knowing that I was watching, but like that was the start of it. So, I mean, those two especially were my favorites.
See, for me, that was cable.
I mean, that makes sense.
Cable was entirely that for me.
If I would have had the good cable channels, then yes.
Well, you should have been stealing them.
Well, that was, we got those in high school.
Oh, you were stealing in high school?
No, we got Time Warner Cable, but I watched so much Showtime Extreme in high school once we got those channels.
Showtime Extreme. Well, fair enough.
Yes.
Finally, what movie defined your childhood and annoyed your parents to no end because you wore out the VHS tape?
Good question. Let me think on that for a second. Do you have yours?
Of course.
Monster Squad?
No. I kind of, no, but more so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Okay.
I just would never stop watching it. And I feel like it had to get pretty boring for my mother.
Batman Returns was probably Jaws.
Oh,
it was
yeah?
Jaws.
Okay.
Yeah. Once when I was like talking to my friend about this because of the anniversary and everything. When that 30th or 40th anniversary VHS came out, that was such a big deal. Like that was my first time like realizing what bonus features were, like having the documentary, having the outtakes, all that stuff. I loved that Jaws VHS set. Honestly, if I would have thought about it, I probably would have never gotten rid of it because I kind of want it now.
Oh, well, time to hop on eBay and play pretend.
For $9 from that last I looked.
Let's see. Most kids had The Lion King. I had Disney horror.
Yes.
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Great
and
movie.
The Black Hole.
Yes, Black Hole's still terrifying to this day. I love those early Disney movies like Return to Oz, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Watcher in the Woods, The Black Hole. Disney made some really scary shit back in the day.
I've only seen Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh, we're changing that.
Oh, no.
I'm going to traumatize you with Return to Oz.
I recommend both of them if you haven't seen them. Just well-done horrors that have a lot for adults to get chills from. Thanks for your shows. It's my jam, Phil.
Awesome, Phil. That was some great questions.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. I want to remind you guys, email us at doyouevenmoviepod@gmail.com like our buddy Patrick did.
Okay.
When I was 14, we were living in apartments and one of our neighbors set off one of those spinny things that shoots sparks as it spins. I can't think of what it's called. I was sitting in the chair that wasn't particularly stable. And the idiot decides to put the thing on the ground and it spins towards me, knocked me out of the chair, almost giving me a concussion.
Jesus.
Love the show. What do you think about Starship Troopers or Nobody Either One?
Nobody.
Or Nobody. Either one I would be happy with. I mean, Dave loves Nobody a
is
lot.
Most likely coming to the show because I think we're going to cover it closer to when the sequel's coming out, which I think is next month, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's that soon?
I think so.
Wow. Okay.
Let me double check. And Starship Troopers, I've always loved Starship Troopers, but it's one that I don't go back to often.
The only thing that ticks me off about Starship Troopers, if I'm completely honest, is people now talking like they discovered it was a fucking farce, that it was a parody. I don't understand how people could think like that they figured out Starship Troopers was a I can't think of the right word.
It's Paul Verhoeven. I mean, Verhoeven is the master of satire.
But it's also clearly a satire.
Yeah.
Like it's clearly a satire.
Yeah.
I watched a whole documentary on YouTube. I think it was like a half an hour long about what Starship Troopers got wrong because Verhoeven isn't really good at satire in the way he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Because I guess Verhoeven had came out and said like that the whole point was like what a horrible world they lived in. But then when you watch it, it actually looks like a utopia.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I don't think he hit the mark very well. But I love that movie. I would totally talk about
August 15th, Nobody 2.
Okay, man, soon.
Mm-hmm.
P.S. Dave, I'll always know what you did last summer is awful. You're not wrong to me. It's probably worse than Jaws the Revenge.
I was reminded of something, and I'm going to do a spoiler for I'll always know what you did last summer.
Uh-oh.
The fisherman gets unmasked and is a fucking zombie at one point.
That's awesome.
Is it?
That sounds great.
Is it?
I want to watch it now.
Well, then you go watch it.
All right. Adios. And then we have one last one from our buddy Danny.
Oh, awesome.
Hey guys, I know October is less than 3 months away, and it's also my birthday on October 31st. Halloween baby. So I'd like to suggest two of my favorite movies to watch during the month of horror and spooky fun.
Okay.
The first one is Killer Clowns from Outer Space from 1988.
Big favorite.
I like that one.
Big favorite.
I'm not as into it as I used to be, but I like it.
I still love it.
And Trick or Treat from 2007. Everybody loves Trick or Treat. That's a great film. I mean, there's nothing to not like about Trick or Treat. They are in my top movies of all time, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and trivia on them. Thanks for the entertainment when I'm driving to and from work and when I'm doing chores at home. Keep being handsome, Enrique. You got it, pal. And keep searching for that yellow belt, David.
I found it.
You did?
I mean, I did.
You were gifted
a yellow
belt.
No, I was gifted that one. I found the other one.
And you never brought it up on the show?
Oh. Because it's dead.
Cap. From a friend and fan, Danny.
Awesome, Danny.
I call Cap on David saying he found the yellow belt.
You can call Cap on me.
I can't. You would have taken. You would have sent me a picture.
Would I?
Mm-hmm.
Would I?
Because it would have been one of the few reverses you could successfully have.
We'll see, I guess.
Okay.
No, I did not find it.
God damn, I knew it.
Trick or Treat it could come to the show. I love that movie, but I feel like everything's been said about it.
But we did do Krampus.
We did do Krampus. I mean, yeah, Dougherty's work, yeah. Okay. It's possible. Both of those movies are possible. I love Killer Clowns very much, and there's a lot on that movie.
I mean, hey, Danny, it could be worse. You could have recommended Death Wish 2 and just gotten shitted on.
I have nothing against that movie except for the fact that like it's a rough watch to recommend people to check out.
Okay.
Out of all the Death Wish movies.
Okay.
Bro. You and I watched it together.
If you say so.
I said we suggested Malibu High, but like literally Death Wish 2 has like a 5-minute rape scene with the
4 minutes and 24 seconds when I timed it.
Would you stop? Yeah, it's got that, and like the treatment of his daughter is awful in that movie. Like Death Wish 2, it's not a bad movie per se. It is definitely probably one of the most unpleasant of the Death Wish series.
That's saying something.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It is saying something.
Well, with all that being said, are you going to tell us what's coming next week?
Oh, you mean as Life's a Beach Month wraps up?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I normally say we'd save the best for last, but I mean, we've talked about a lot of great movies this month, but we are talking about 1991's immortal classic Point Break on next week's show.
Point Break is a hell of a feature film.
Yes, we are going to be talking about Point Break, currently available on Paramount Plus, Fossum, Plex, Pluto, Roku, and Tubi.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's available
readily
everywhere.
available, so you kids have homework.
And if you're feeling froggy, check out Riff Tracks version of it, because the Riff Tracks version we saw in theaters a few months back was
that killed me
lot of fun.
A few months back.
How long ago was that?
At least 2 years.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was like last year.
If you say so.
It was last year.
I'll find out.
Okay, you find out.
Keep talking your shit.
But yeah, no, Point Break 1991 is what we're going to be covering as we wrap up Life's a Beach Month. And we'll also be teasing August for what we are picking on that. Obviously, I've already said we're going to be doing Nobody, but still figuring out the theme for August, if there is going to be a theme.
If there will even be one.
But yes, that is what we're going to be talking about as we wrap up Life's a Beach Month on the show.
I'm having trouble finding out exactly when that show was.
I can tell you verbatim because I did it in my Letterboxd.
Oh, Lord.
Hang on.
It looks like it was in 2024.
I was going to say.
Looks like you were right. August 8th and 13th, 2024.
Haha.
All right, you win this round. But you still don't have your yellow belt. So, okay, fine. But I guess all that's left to say then is thank you guys for listening to Do You Even Movie? We do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube if that's where you're watching instead of just listening.
That is true.
And again, email us doyouevenmoviepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. And that's all I got.
That's all you got, man?
That's all I got.
Well, you want a beer?
No, you charge me every time.
Get your own beer.
So I guess in the end, we will see you next Nautical Fraud.
Nautical Fraud. Hey!
Adios.